Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Crudcast, brought to you by the Triple C Sports, with your host, Lugai.
First up in priority, then.
Man, of course you are.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think you're first on waivers this week after the W. I think it goes losers.
Think I am, man. Everybody has one win, and I have the least amount of wins. I'm tied for it, but I also have the least amount of points for, so I'm going to be first.
So it goes by record first, not by the week by week basis on losers.
No, yeah, overall record is the first one, I think.
So if you have the worst record, then you get first.
Correct. Yes.
That's what he's saying, but
yes.
I guess
it goes.
And it goes points for.
Well, that makes sense because.
Right. Yeah. Worst team should get dibs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you're first and then Tate's second. So I guess that would make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I just have to remember to do it this week though, because last week I had it and I didn't pick up the Rams guy, and I might ended up really biting myself for that one.
Yeah, I listened to it. You were like all about it, but then you didn't even pick him up.
Oh yeah. I completely forgot about it. Yeah.
Hey, downtown guy, what were you saying?
What? I was just saying that it's points for tiebreaker.
I believe so.
Yeah.
By the way, it is kind of. I wish we could give you guys more of an option on tiebreakers, but I got nothing. I mean, if Sleeper says it's already in their
Sleeper went feedback. They said, "To hell with you. You suck. Don't even bother."
Yeah, I mean they might they might change that, but for now, it's still very very customizable. But
I could go back to Chark though. I could pick him back up. He finally scored again.
Yeah, he did. After, I mean, at least you gave me the you gave me the shout out.
I drop him, he scores. That always happens in fantasy.
Okay, did I not? But we talked because Sean guy butt dialed me on on
Friday
or like Friday or Saturday.
It was like Friday.
And I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, oh, he's butt dialed you. Well, and I'm like, hey, by the way, if you listen to, I did a podcast by myself.
Yeah.
For the first time, and I gave you guys all start him, sit him advice, and I reiterated to Sean guy like, I see DJ Chark on your backups, but I happen to like it. Like for whatever reason, Lawrence keeps going his way.
Yeah, I'm kind of wishing I kept,
you dropped instead of taking my advice, you just totally went the opposite way, dropped him. And who'd you play instead of him?
Pittman, who's I think going to be pretty good.
I don't think you should drop Pittman. But the thing is,
he dropped a touchdown this week.
What did he do this week?
He's going to be their number one receiver.
So Wentz played. I was surprised he played, but you could tell his ankles were messed up. But wait, what did he get?
Pittman got 10. That's not.
Yeah, I guess it's bad. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's really a crapshoot at that point.
But you got to look at the target. You got to look at the targets though. Like how many times are they throwing to him?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. He dropped.
I think they threw to him like 12 or 13 times.
He did out.
He's got 12 targets.
Yeah,
he's gonna be one of their lead guys. I mean, even when Hilton comes back, I mean.
Hilton's not coming back. He's getting surgery on his neck.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It was in my injury report
on
the pre-weekend
that's
broadcast.
Too bad. He was, man, in his prime, he was a fun receiver to watch.
Yes.
I actually saw him play in college at the Motor City Bowl when he was at Florida International.
Cool. Yeah, I know. But yeah, he's getting surgery on his neck, so I highly doubt he's coming back.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's too bad.
Yeah. So you guys want to talk your
do like the game
biggest
you
want to talk your biggest surprise performance and biggest letdown performance of the week across the fantasy universe?
Across the fantasy universe.
What do you got? I got my biggest letdown for you. If you're ready.
I have mine too, but I already.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Mine, definitely hurts. I had him in my other fantasy league, and I bought into the hype early on and thought this would be easily a 30-point game for him with the Cowboys defense, and that obviously didn't go as planned. But
tough matchup. So are you in another league with Tate?
Yeah.
I knew it.
It's like with like cousins on my mom's side of the family.
Yeah, he explained it to me.
So yeah, I mean, I still got the win, but still was pretty disappointed with him, I would say.
Gotcha. Yeah, okay. And your biggest surprise performance player?
Oh gosh, I'll have to look at this one. I'll get back to you.
Okay, so you had your disappointment ready, but
yeah,
the other one queued up. That's fine. I honestly haven't done that much research. I'm doing this new thing kind of where I watch the games week 2. I watch them after Monday on Tuesday and Wednesday to get ready for a brand new podcast for you guys before the week, just to give you an update on what I thought on your stardom situms and based off injuries.
Nice.
Yeah, I've watched every game this year.
I was happy with Elliott. I think he finally
had Zeke had a
game that he needed. He started off slow, but I think he finally, he got 25 points. So yeah, I think that was my biggest surprise, and that's what he needed going forward. So
yeah, I was interested to see if Pollard was going to steal as many carries as he did last week and kind of steal the show. But, Zeke played well. I mean, he really has played well all 3 weeks, even week 1 versus Tampa Bay, not Kansas City. He played well. I mean, his numbers weren't crazy or anything, but when he did get the ball, he looked sharp. As far as the cuts he was making, he still looks quick, and obviously, he's powerful. But yeah, he looks good this year.
Yeah.
Good stuff from Zeke, and the Cowboys offense looks great.
It just took beating a really bad team.
Right. I didn't think Eagles were that bad, but
they're not. They're really not.
They've only beaten the Falcons, though. You got to remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, so but the Falcons
Eagles,
just beat
the Eagles could easily be a 4-win team this year.
Okay, so there's a lot of people on the internet right now, like, oh, the Broncos, they're 3-0, but their opponents are 0-9. I get the point you're making, but it's still up to you to get the win against the bad teams. I know that's really dumb to say, but you can't discredit what the Eagles have done so far. I don't think the Eagles.
I still think looking at their division though. I mean, they're easily third best.
I was gonna say in their division they're actually fairly good, but across the NFL,
I disagree. I think Washington is a shoulder and maybe half ahead of Philadelphia right now.
I highly disagree with you, and I
better coaching staff.
No,
and just
disagree. Whatever. I don't even care because I think Washington's on my shit list. No offense to you, downtown guy over there. I know you're a fan, but they looked horrible this weekend.
Playing against one of the best teams in the AFC.
Yeah, but that's what happens when McLaurin gets shut down and Heineke panics like that. They're totally night and day. And I actually was really hoping they would play well, but it didn't happen. So I don't know.
Well, when you have 4 first-rounders on your defensive line, you should be one of the best defenses in the league, but apparently you don't know how to play. So.
I mean, that's the thing. I didn't understand what that performance was this weekend by their defense. That's where I expected them to show up big, especially on the D line. So just like you said, not to one up you, but
they couldn't stop Allen do anything. That was the downside.
Yeah, I mean, Sean Guy, they have a lot of upside, but it'll just be interesting to see if Washington plays like that again, and if Heineke, I don't know when Fitzpatrick's
I like
back.
Washington. I mean, you may be right. They may be only a 7-9 or 8-8 team, but I think they're going to end up with 2 or 3 more wins than the Eagles this year at least.
I'm not even going to say that they will go under 500 if they can get their act together next week. I mean, realistically, we're on a week-to-week basis. We're not even through week 5 yet, so we don't know what Washington's going to be in the end. I mean, do you know, downtown guy, when Fitzpatrick's due back?
He's out for at least 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm. So that's my concern is okay, with Heineke leading the ship, it's if he plays good, it goes well. But I mean, if he plays like that, I don't know. We'll see.
I think he's projected week 9 or 10 to come back, but he didn't do surgeries, so it could go any way, right?
Yeah, he could be out for the entire year if the rehab doesn't go right.
Yeah. I will say, out of our league, the game of the week was probably Otto Stiek versus Mike Guy at the last second there. But I did want to give out my dud performance of the week. It's gonna have.
I have one too.
Cool. Since we're starting off with duds, I'm gonna go with Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers. I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was that bad until some of the highlights of this week, and I was like, oh God, like they're calling for another quarterback over there in Pittsburgh after that. And I don't know. I have Claypool on my team. Surprisingly, he put up decent numbers, like somehow, some way. And but I just really was. I think he's jumped the shark. So that's my. What about you, you guys?
I mean, for my team, I think mine would be Noah Fart. Like the past 2 games, he had like over 10 points or whatever, had a lot of targets. And then this game, I think he was only targeted 3 times and got like 15 yards. So that was my letdown. And, one of my other duds was Brown. I was going back and forth between him and Sanders for a while, like I said. And I was like, well, Sanders is playing against Washington, so he's probably going to get points. But then Brown's playing against the Lions, so I thought he was going to like go off. So I kept Brown in. And then he has these 2 long-ass passes right in his hands and drops them. So luckily I still got the W, but he was a dud too.
Yeah, Brown was a disappointing week for sure. Gotta make those catches. And yeah, I mean, but you still kind of love to see it in a way, like as long as your guy's getting the ball and has that potential. Like, I know it's a weird thing to like when your guy drops the ball in that situation, but you're like, all right, well, at least I had a big play potential, and
right
versus them not being on the field. But speaking of that, Ayuk finally got a touchdown for you, Sean Guy. But I wanted to know your Matt Guy and Sean Guy, your disappointments of the week.
Like on my team or overall?
You usually do overall, but it doesn't matter. Your team's relevant.
Overall, I'm going to do a combination. I'm going to do 2 players. I'm going to do Kyler Murray and his receiver DeAndre Hopkins. They totally underperformed this week. It was like a huge smash spot at Jacksonville, and they just, I don't know, they were not on the same page. I think Hopkins had 4 or 5 points, maybe, if that.
Yeah, he was questionable with a hip injury. I think it was
Murray only had like 17 or 18 points or something like that. It was like one of his worst fantasy games.
Yeah, Hopkins was
very long time.
To the defense of Hopkins, he was injured before the game, and I think he was questionable. So yeah. I don't know how much I had to do with it, because obviously I'm not on the team. Yeah, but I just want to throw that out there. Downtown guy.
100% agree with what Sean Guy said there.
Okay. All right, cool.
Me too. I was gonna say the exact same thing. They had literally the easiest game they could have had, and they pulled up snake eyes, dude. Like they failed. They failed to do a really good job. However, the defense played well, so that was nice.
Cool. My surprise of the week is on my own squad. You'd think I'd say Kareem Hunt, but it wasn't a shock to me, him playing like that. And it was actually Madison that I put in for the Vikings, and I nabbed him.
That was a really nice pickup.
It was a strategic move to nab him from Cam A, and then I was like, wait a second. Like, I looked at the Seattle run defense stats for the year, and I was like, they're gonna go with this dude. And I saw he had some impressive numbers when he was on the field. And I just know how right now in the league it's just kind of a plug-in running back situation, like just plug him in and go. And I'm like, let's try it. And I mean, I didn't expect that much. I mean, I was looking for maybe a 15-point game. I mean, the way he played.
The Seahawks defense is not what it used to be. That's for sure.
No, they're definitely the weakest link in the division. It seems like now.
He ended up with what, like 20?
20. Yep.
Yeah, that's a good pickup for sure.
Yeah, Vikings O-line playing well for sure. Vikings played well as well. Your guys' surprise performance of the week.
Surprise performer. I'm gonna go a guy I left on my bench, Kirk Cousins. Vikings. He's kind of tore it up 2 weeks in a row now, and like I'm like going forward, I'm actually having some debate about actually like putting him in over Rodgers, just because he's got the 2 stud receivers and Rodgers only has 1 guy to throw to.
Yeah.
So I know, like when Cook comes back, I know the Vikings. I know they could make some noise here if both those receivers stay healthy and if they get Cook back too. They have a I know they could have a very, very good offense. I know the tight end too is another guy to watch. Conklin. I think their first round pick Smith, the guy from Alabama. He's still hurt, or
he's on IR.
He's not playing yet. So
yeah, he's on IR.
Yeah, Conklin I knew a little bit. He went to Central, so pretty good tight end for them there. But yeah, Kirk Cousins has looked pretty good. I mean, fantasy wise so far.
I have a note here from Flanagan finishing up a sound bath. Can you guys help me on what that actually means?
I try to.
Is that
I try to figure it out.
Where you take a bath, or is that where you just metaphorically use sound as a bath metaphor?
Maybe he's listening to sounds that sound like a bath.
Yeah, like he's like, "Hey Alexa, play bath sounds," and it's just like a person sitting in a bath. Like,
it's kind of awesome.
Yeah. Anyways, apparently he's gonna be here. Matt got what do you got, buddy? If you're there.
Me?
Surprise performer of the week.
Najee Harris.
He was a beast.
Yeah.
He had 14 tugs and 19 targets. Like, whoa, dude.
Yeah, I mean, if you saw the highlights, I mean, he was a beast.
Also, I was just looking. Saints D had like 26 points or something.
Played amazing. Saints D are playing on fire.
So I would say that was a surprise too.
Najee Harris was out for 95% of snaps, as he was last week. In the first week, he was out for 100% of snaps. This week, 14 attempts, 40 yards.
Maybe he can play quarterback too.
And then he had 19 targets. 19 targets. 14 receptions and 102 yards.
Maybe they convert him to quarterback and
right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right, just snap it. I mean, it's like New Orleans.
The whole game.
Like a Tyson Hill situation.
Right.
Another guy who kind of way underperformed this week was Hill for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
You guys see that they just signed Gordon though?
Were they the ones who got him?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I looked at Gordon. I looked at Gordon's last 2 years in the NFL, and I wasn't that impressed from a fantasy points standpoint. So I don't know. I'm not going to pick him up. So
yeah,
I got too much depth on my team right now. I've been just constantly trying to like swap out running backs because it seems like that's the popular go-to for everybody on the waivers. And I mean, I know how they just get injured so much. I mean, you know, you're just hoping every week your guy doesn't go down. But okay, so there's some surprise performances. I mean, I guess we could break down our league individually if you want. Oh, Sean, guy, I did want to do a segment called your bench of the week.
Oh, best call to leave on the bench.
Yeah, who is the best guy left on the bench? So I guess we can do that as we recap the league because that'll be the easiest way to.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, just go like game by game and then just like look at who they left on the bench and just say
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. For sure. Scam, since you haven't been here, this is your first time here. You want to start off with your game?
Yeah, so we're doing the bench thing.
No, so the bench of the week's just going to be a league.
Okay.
One person crown. I mean, we very well may give it to you, or I mean, could be even Spartan Trooper, but yeah, we'll go through and see what we got here. I mean, your bad bench of the week was obviously Emmanuel Sanders. And
I don't want to talk about it.
I mean, that's what we're here to do. We're here to talk about it.
I know.
Speaking of that, Mike Williams on the opposite side of the ball. Oof. That's literally all I said in the chat. And if you my recap on Spartan Trooper before the games this week on like Thursday, I think I got it out Thursday night.
And he had Herbert on the bench too. That would have won him the game, wouldn't it?
I told him
probably.
That was literally my only advice to him. That was my point. I mean, because he's got Lamar Jackson, so ahead of before the week
Herbert
starts,
out there would have won him the game.
Before the week starts, I didn't call that out as far as putting out Herbert, but I did mention, put in Mike Williams.
I don't think the Jackson was bad. I don't know. Sorry.
What don't you know, Cammy?
I was going to say, like, I don't think the Jackson call was bad. Like, if it was me, I probably would have started Jackson.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people.
That's a huge.
Go off, but
that's a huge hindsight 2020. I mean, especially with Herbert's matchup, it's just the fact that of course you're always questioning things after it goes down, but I mean, Washington's defense, good Lord.
Yeah. Hot mess.
43 points allowed, no sacks, no interceptions, no fumbles.
Hot mess express.
Yeah, that's as bad as it gets.
I was kind of disappointed with Sanders too. I mean,
with benching him.
What? No, I started.
Oh, the other Sanders.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta play him though.
I know.
With how he is, I mean, he's their number one dude. So,
but he's consistently been like 6 or 7 points. I'm like kind of waiting for him to have a double-digit game, but
15 points week 1, last week 6 points. Yeah.
And then
everybody's and their brothers playing good against Atlanta, like Sean Guy had said. So,
and then Noah.
I mean, San Fran, tough matchup. I kind of like him against KC next week. Like I said, I still think out of Penn State, you got to go with him.
And the guys I used to play backyard football with in high school, man, we could give Atlanta a run for their money this year.
So anything else you gotta? What do you else you want to talk about here? Let's look at your game. Brady, even with the loss, put up big fantasy numbers with that many yards. The rushing touchdown helps out a lot. Edwards-Helaire finally shows what he can do. I mean, he's pretty much that's what he's most known for. I had him last year is to kind of give you that 15 to 20 point range, at least in this half PPR kind of league we play in. So he might not be put up the craziest numbers because he's playing with Mahomes and he's playing with Kelsey and he's playing with Hill. But that's what you want to see from him. I mean, obviously you want to see the Chiefs get the W too, but nice play on Brandon Cooks. Nice pickup this year. I did not expect him to. I don't know. I just expected some mediocre shit from him this year. So that was
I wasn't expecting him to do as well as he's doing, but I figured he's the guy who gets targeted most on the Texans. So I figured let's see what he's got, and he's been consistent so far. So
yeah, I kind of just gave him the old he jumped the shark tag, I guess, a little bit too early. I thought like, you know what, his best days in New Orleans are behind him. And I just personally wasn't interested, but way to be on top of Dalvin Cook. He was a Sunday decision to at least bench him and throw another guy in there. Who did you play at the flex? Yeah. I mean, honestly, looking at your lineup, I don't even think I was saying anything to you on the podcast except watch out for that Dalvin Cook injury. I don't think you really made any wrong moves necessarily.
Yeah.
But I mean, Emmanuel Sanders' stock just kind of went through the roof. Allen finally just kind of was like, connecting with him on those long balls, which we saw the week before this. So definitely a good scoop going forward as the bye weeks are now coming up. On the opposite side of the ball, over at Spartan Trooper, I think you really credit up by not playing Mike Williams. I mean, that was my main point to him, but I don't know. What do you guys got to say about this game? Sean Guy, you got anything for me?
Oh, which game are we talking? We're talking about Camille's game still?
Yeah.
What?
Back in my day, I tell you,
fantasy football.
Didn't even have these phones, I tell you, to look at these scores. We were like dialing up on like AOL. Grandma's calling. The internet went out. You can't look at fantasy anymore.
I think Hawkinson was a big disappointment with only 2 points.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
Hawkinson.
That's a fluke. That's not gonna be like that going forward. Cooper Kupp just on fire.
I know, he's going off.
Yeah. McCaffrey too. That was the other one that pretty. I mean, had he been healthy,
that's what gave him the. That's what gave him.
Had he been healthy, it might have been a little bit different outcome. But
hell yeah. No, that's what.
Lucky.
Yeah, that handed him the loss almost prematurely. I mean, once that happened, I mean,
sounds like he's going to be out just 3 weeks though. It's like it's a hamstring injury, but it's not very.
It's below grade 1.
Yeah. It's not a very bad hamstring injury, so. He'll be back pretty soon, but I don't know. You never know, though. I mean, like when he comes back, I mean, if he does it again, I mean, he could be out the rest of the year. So,
yeah,
I'm still probably gonna try and go for their other running back there just in case, because he's starting to get a few more red flags now, McCaffrey. But when he's in there, though, I mean, he is a lot of fun to watch. Though he is definitely one of the top 3 fantasy running backs when he's healthy.
Solid numbers for Gibson. I think people were. I mean, he obviously had a huge.
He had the one long touchdown.
Catch.
That was pretty much his day.
So that was most of his day, dude. That touchdown.
I guess that could have gone either way. I didn't realize it was down to 1 catch, but I mean, still.
Speaking of random ass plays during that game, did you guys see or hear about the onside kick recovery that wasn't an actual onside kick?
No, but I promise you on everything.
I didn't watch that game.
That I am going to watch every single NFL game again this week. So when I get there, I'll shoot you a text. I'll shoot you a "what the hell is this" text.
Yeah, preview is the kicker kicks it. There's so much wind, it bounces, and the kicker catches it, like at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, back to this game here. Rough week for Spartan Troopers performance. I mean, Julio Jones, I honestly kind of put him in the jumping shark tank as well. So, I mean, personally,
I think there's going to be a lot of weeks like that for Julio.
Yeah, to see a 6 point
this year.
I mean, that's just how I'm looking at it. I mean, I don't know other people.
There's still going to be some 15 to 20 point weeks for him, I think. But like, I think there's going to be some weeks like week 3 and week 1 too.
True. But Brown is now injured, so that opens up some point.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
And
what was his injury? A knee or something, or shoulder?
That's a good question. Let's look that up right now. Brown is hurt. Hamstring. It was a bad week for hamstrings, dude.
Yeah, a lot of hamstrings.
Shepard's hamstring. I think it was Slayton's hamstring.
Yeah, that was the guy I picked up. I was glad I didn't start him though. I picked him up, but I left him on the bench.
Slayton?
Yeah, Slayton. Man.
Why did you pick up Slayton, you fool? You sussy baka.
I don't know, man. I think he's pretty good.
That was who you dropped Chark for?
Yeah. I think he's better than Galladay, honestly.
Honestly, I don't. Me and Sean guy never see eye to eye. And I'm glad I'm doing much better than him this year. He's just too obsessed with baseball.
Baseball's like pretty much over now, so I'll definitely be back on the hunt for the football.
Did you guys
waiver wire?
Did you guys win the championship for baseball?
It looks like we are going to win. It's still like it's a little bit kind of like it's not like totally set, but like there's like 6 days left in the regular season.
Yeah.
And we have a pretty good lead in like some of the categories, and like the guy that's in second, Savoy, he doesn't really have, I don't know. He has like some downside to where his point total is compared to ours. So it's looking very likely that
nice.
Yeah, that me and Tate are probably going to win for the third time in 5 years, I think it is.
Hell yeah.
Congrats on that though, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely put in a lot of time to that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Yep.
All right. So that's pretty much concludes your game, Cam A. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
And thanks for being here. Let's run it over to, let's keep it in the family, and we'll run it over to Downtown Guy while we got him as well. Yeah. Break it down for us over there in the car. You're usually the best audio quality, and now you have moved down to the lowest tonight, but that's to be expected.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, you've got all the road noise. So
shout out to your phone provider for at least giving you a solid connection. What do you got for us, man?
Oh, I got it. Well, first off, thanks to iPhone and Verizon. Scratch those out. Can't say though.
Whatever car you're driving in, a Toyota, Kia, or a Chevy, whatever that is.
Smart car.
Rolls Royce.
Yeah, let's bring it back in.
Yeah.
Honestly,
reel it in.
I seem to have the best luck of the past 2 weeks in a row.
Had some bad luck for sure.
Getting beat by a total of 300 points in the past 2 weeks.
Yes.
It's kind of not easy to win when you put up 120 points and still lose. So
watching Aaron Jones perform at the last minute when it doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, watching a lot of people. looked at my bench, and I really couldn't have got anywhere close.
No,
even if I put in. So it was just a bad week for me.
It was
Still half the league, but a bad week.
It was all over at 1 p.m.
Yeah.
It was all over at 1 p.m. for you. I mean, once Jamar Chase had that catch, and
all of a sudden Jamar Chase is like 2 touchdowns deep, and
dude's money.
Washington football team does not know how to play defense, so that didn't help either. Good old Josh Allen, 5 tutties, to make it any easier. And you're welcome, Tate. I'm giving you some serious credit right now for this.
I did.
He's like, I can't wait to save the game.
I was thinking like, oh, maybe you should do that Javonte Williams over Boyd, but I did claim that Boyd was due for a touchdown. He finally locked a touchdown in. I mean, Javonte Williams.
Call with OBJ because I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I mean,
it could be like a Saquon week 1 type of thing where it's like, well, we don't really throw it to him. We really limit his snaps. I think he had like 7 targets and made like.
Yeah, he looked pretty good out there. I watched most of that game. I was flipping between the Bears and Browns game and the Lions Ravens game, and Odell Beckham. He looked like he was pretty healthy.
He looked okay. He looked pretty good. It's just the fact that I like the team that he's on. I like the way Baker Mayfield plays.
There's gonna be a lot of scoring opportunities there between their defense giving the offense the ball back, and just like what Leah was saying, like their running backs are like probably the best in the league.
Yeah, best 1-2 punch in the league for sure, no doubt. And Nick Chubb's moving up. That a lot of people are now that McCaffrey's dinged up are putting him in that top 3. Yeah, he's moved up.
Yeah.
So hot take, OBJ probably starts next week. We'll see what the lineup looks like.
Ruggs got another big game with some of the yardage. I mean, it's not that big of a game, but I mean, still, I know people were kind of seeing what he was going to do.
Yeah.
He got some playing time this week. He balled out.
Swift's a man.
Yeah, Swift killed it.
And Kamara, honestly, the way he looked, he could have easily gotten more than that.
I was thinking he was going to have a lot more than that with the way the game started. I did not expect.
Yeah, you kind of got. I mean, I hate to say it, but in a weird way, you kind of got lucky with that because I actually was watching a good amount of that game. So I did watch a good amount of football. It's just the fact that when I'm watching at 1 o'clock, I'm watching 6 games at a time. So if there's a commercial, I'm just going to flip to another game, and I flip to like if I get a feeling like teams are 3rd and 15 and they're not going to make it, like Mac Jones, for example, no offense, then I switch to another game where there's a more heated moment. And I just pick the most interesting moment as I go through. So I miss a lot by doing that. Like I saw the Steelers get their ass kicked, but I didn't see any of Claypool's catches. So that being said, I was able to witness Kamara running well and bouncing back from his disappointing week last week. So
I was really hoping that I was going to see a lot of last week's play out that he got, but apparently not so much.
Solid game.
Opposite way.
Solid game for you overall.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much more I could have really done, and next one. But Tate's team definitely balled out. Can't really fault it. It is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, not many teams are gonna beat him when I know his quarterback and his top 2 running backs play like that.
Highest point total in the league. I mean, he went on by me tonight with.
I still think.
On Sunday night with Crosby.
I still think Tate's wide receivers are a little sus, but that's just me.
I don't really think so, to be honest with you. Because as long as he's flexible with his flex, and you have a guy like
he's banking on 2 rookie wideouts. We'll see.
Yeah, but they're the best ones that you get. I mean, Jamar Chase. What do you mean? Robert Woods is not a rookie?
Yeah.
No, the other guy on his bench.
Jalen Waddle. He's not even playing him. He hasn't played him once yet.
I think he might have played him at the flex.
He could play him at the flex spot for the Patriots guy. Their offense is going nowhere.
Oh yeah, Harris is
Robert Woods is fitting to blow. So I mean,
I'd rather have Cup than Woods.
Like
I think we all want Cup over Woods, but
yeah.
I mean, the thing is, it's true with the way Cup's playing. I mean, and being in half PPR, but with a guy like Stafford, you don't drop Robert Woods.
Yeah, he'll still get targets and he's gonna make catches. So
I mean, this was his most down week. I mean, and you can't even really consider it a down week when you plug in 5. It's like, okay, it's not like, dude, the guy is good. That's the other thing. I've watched both Rams games and I watched some of the Rams game this week. I mean, Robert Woods is the man. So, I mean, between him and Chase, I definitely, I see what you're saying on his receivers.
Right. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, overall, like his top receivers are not like top receivers.
Well, hold on a second. Chase has 4 touchdowns in 3 games.
To add to your point though, Sean, Burrow doesn't look like the most consistent quarterback around right now, and he can definitely kind of fall apart over at the Bengals. So Jamar Chase depends on Burrow, and those other guys are eventually going to steal some of those touchdowns. So going forward, we'll see what happens in Cincinnati. I definitely think Cincinnati is in the second half of my NFL rankings by watching everything. I don't put them in my top 15 right now, but better week for them.
It's gonna be a tough division. I mean, Ravens, Browns, Steelers could bounce back too. So
I don't think so. Honestly, I think the Steelers are going to struggle all year.
Yeah, I think
personally, and it sucks because they have Tomlin, and it sucks because they have Najee.
Yeah, no, they got a good coach. They got Harbaugh's good, but Tomlin's equally as good.
No, Tomlin. I mean, if you look at the all-time wins list, Tomlin's up there. He's climbing that ladder, and I mean, you can't discredit him. But I think the fans of Pittsburgh are so diehard. Like I said, I think you're seeing a lot of memes come out about Ben Roth, and people are starting to, say this is it. We need another quarterback. I don't know who that's.
Well, I mean, if he's playing injured, he's playing injured, and then there's not really a lot you can do.
Well, that's the other thing is he's right-handed, and he's had a right pectoral injury that he played through. So Ben Roth is known for playing through injuries, but the thing is, the way the NFL is going right now is almost all the quarterbacks are part passing, part rushing quarterbacks. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts. The list goes on. Mahomes.
Murray.
Murray, thank you. It keeps Russell Wilson. Yeah.
Wilson doesn't scramble nearly as much as he used to.
That's true, but the thing is, you know what I mean. You got to at least be
Prescott's
kind of mobile.
Another good one. Yeah.
You got to be mobile in the pocket nowadays.
Yeah.
Like it's not really the same kind of. That's what
Roethlisberger used to do that when he was 30. He's not that age anymore.
I mean, that's what that's all I'm saying. That's if you want my reasoning why. I just think that there's some QB woes, but I mean, hey, if he gets some protection, some time to throw the ball back there, and his injuries aren't too bad, and he can heal up, he's definitely got a very strong receiving core there. I think one of the best.
I agree with that. And
Johnson
maybe they can even switch up their scheme a little bit and go a little bit more run heavy with the running back that they have.
If I'm Tate, which I am definitely not, did he? Oh, he did it. He finally did the deed. I didn't see it. Who did he pick up for Deshaun Watson? Oh no, he still got him.
Yeah, he's still on the.
He's on his bench.
I think that's pretty much like right up there with like Stiek not making a logo. It's like he knows that it pisses me off, so it's like he'd rather get the enjoyment of pissing me off in my weird little world than like actually make a fantasy football decision. So I don't know, and I also feel like he plays fantasy kind of like Cam, your dad's the one who got me into this back when I was like 13 years old. So like I remember your dad being fairly loyal to the players he went with and decided on. So I think Tate's kind of like, he's going to stick with his guys, doing kind of that coaching move rather than, I don't know, just having faith in your decisions, your investments. So maybe
I get to a point, but I don't think the dude's playing for a while. I don't know. I would drop him too, but
yeah, after doing this podcast and changing or watching every game, finally I have this package I bought with Dogecoin where I can watch every game condensed.
nice.
I've kind of changed a little bit. So I'm like, if I get a feeling and I got to change it up week to week, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? So I really don't know what he thinks about Deshaun Watson, but all the news I get is that legal matter is not going to settle itself and that he actually doesn't really want to play for the Texans. So I think it's like a double-edged sword. I think it's either going to be one issue or the other. And not many other people know about this, but he's got an injured foot. I don't know how serious it is, but it's one more thing to throw in there. Okay, so other than that, I got to say, Spartan Trooper, I don't really know if you saw my comment before, or I guarantee you're not listening to my podcast about the pre-week football, but I'm going to do it again this week. If you guys want to join or not, that's cool. But I'm glad to do it solo, just to do stardom sit-ems for you. And then I will also post them in the chat if I see your lineups and injured player. But I don't know how you can not play Mike Williams with the way Herbert throws. And I've everything I've seen by Mike Williams.
Chargers have been one of the more impressive teams so far.
Yeah.
This year,
especially in the realm of passing.
Yeah.
So okay, whatever. Guess just keep him on your bench. Cool. Oh, here's Flana guy. Sean guy, let's go over to your game.
Okay. All right, yeah. So I looks like I got my first win.
It looks like.
Yes. The game is over, and I did win. Yeah. Cooper
Johnny
had a small chance to get a couple touchdowns late in the game, but they really did not go his way today. They went more in the running game, and they went to CeeDee Lamb instead. So. Yeah, I mean, Rodgers looked pretty good at San Francisco. The only time he's really had trouble with San Francisco is like in the playoffs. So yeah. I mean, he looked pretty good finding Adams. I watched that whole game. I thought the one guy should have been ejected for the one hit that he put on Adams. It was a helmet to helmet.
I don't know about an ejection.
Yeah, it was.
But
it was helmet to helmet.
I saw it.
Yeah, should have been thrown out.
Hate to say it, but that's football.
Yeah.
Hey, Louis.
What's up?
Hey, good game, man.
Good game, man. You had me sweating before the weekend, bro.
It was going to be a lock. Like you were so.
Are you kidding me? That's all that was. Is
that mind game?
All that was strategy, baby. All that little things I'm doing. Oh, you're a lock this week, Flana guy. You think I really think that? No, I don't. I'm not gonna tell you what I really think, but it was much like week one when I bet on Ben. I'm putting my predictions up honestly, though. I will say that I did overall think that Daniel Jones was going to run for his life, and it might not have won New York the game, which it didn't, but I thought I might lose in a fantasy points world. I thought maybe he was going to run for 90 again or something crazy because he just runs for his life out there. He doesn't know what to do. So he just is like, I'm kind of fast. And he just runs and he's like, I went to Duke.
Yeah. And it's so relevant for fantasy.
He's smarter than me. A+ now. Sean guy, we're back over to you.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I was just talking about Rodgers a little bit. My running backs like very much underperformed. I got some major injury concerns with Jacobs and E. Mitchell right now.
I think
so. They're both on the bench.
I think good call, but I think they're both coming back soon.
Right. Yeah. So I'm not like overly concerned. I think Taylor's still going to be pretty solid. He had a little bit of a down week this week. I think he got stuffed at the goal line a couple times, so that easily could have been a little bit of a better week for Taylor there.
Cole's got a good O-line.
Yeah. I mean, my biggest disappointment was obviously Robinson. The Bears offense looked truly bad.
Yeah, the Bears.
Their offensive line. I was watching the line. Like I said, I was watching between the Lions and the Bears game, and I mean, you got to give Cleveland's defense some major credit because I mean they are absolutely they got some monsters on that defense. They're gonna be flying around all year. And Myles Garrett looks like a legitimate defensive player of the year candidate.
Mm-hmm.
And
now.
Some of my other guys, Diggs, he didn't have a bad day. He just Allen had a really big game, and he's still getting in the end zone. So I still think Diggs is going to be all right for the most part. I really the one guy who I like, he was kind of like one of my picks that I was looking for in the draft going in. Gesicki, tight end for the Dolphins. He finally had a really big game. So yeah, I mean, yeah, and also my kicker and my defense scored. Like those are my two probably biggest positions, were kicker and defense. That kind of put me over the. I mean, I think actually Michelle like got the same amount of points as me because the Broncos played the Jets, but
literally all of her team underperformed except for the D.
Right. Yeah. It was really unfortunate for her that White went out early in the game, and then Chubb also not scoring a touchdown. That was that was pretty much the. And Gronk too. Gronk had like a couple times where he was like running with the ball inside the 10, and he did not get in the end zone. So that was also pretty big.
Well, and he got hurt too, right?
Right. Yeah, I think at the end you're right. Yeah. He did. He got dinged up.
He got hit real hard in the ribs, and they had to ice him up a little bit.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And looking at her bench, Sermon, you could argue, might have been a little bit of a better play than White, arguably, just because he was getting the start. But I mean, pretty much everybody else that she had on her bench, I mean, you can't really. I don't know. Fields looked really rough first start. I think he'll get better as the year goes on. I
That's not a great team to have to play for your first start.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. It was on the road, and the Browns are.
Don't the Bears have a lot of O-line hurt too?
What's that?
Don't the Bears have a lot of O-linemen out too?
They have a very terrible O-line. The things I learned this week is Matt Nagy.
I think it's just their draft pick that's hurt, because Peters.
I try to tell you guys, by the way,
but he looked really bad though.
I got everybody disagreeing with me on that, but
I've been saying that for a while. I do not like Nagy as a coach.
Not crazy about what I saw. Yeah.
And Williams got 13 points too. That was a
Which
good
Williams?
For Detroit.
That was that was my recommendation, my only recommendation on the pre-weekend podcast for my mom to do. I texted her as well, but she's just like I said, she gets mesmerized by watching college football, like young hot guys fighting and pushing each other around.
Yeah, looking for the next Tebow.
Drinks a couple of White Claws.
I feel that.
I don't know about you guys, but I had a near heart attack watching State almost lose.
I wish I watched college football, but I don't. So.
I'm repping my State hoodie.
Look at that. Yeah.
Pour it out, baby.
Yeah. That was a pretty epic comeback.
Shouldn't have even been that way, but it is what it is.
I mean, Nebraska's, I think they're underrated, honestly. Their defense.
You always struggle against them.
Yeah. It's always a close game.
Frost is a really good coach though, too.
Yeah.
I mean, they might not be built up like how he had UFC built up, but I mean he is a really, really smart football coach, and they would do well to keep him, I think, for at least a couple more years, because I don't know, they're very physical, and you can just tell that they're very assignment sound.
And they played pretty well against Oklahoma too.
You're right. They only lost by a touchdown there. So. Yeah. But we'll see if Oklahoma ends up with a loss or two at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think
there's a couple teams in the Big 12, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, that might give them a little bit of a run. So we'll
Rattler hasn't looked that good. I thought he was going to be the number one pick. I mean, he still might be, but he
doesn't look that great.
Start. Yeah, Howell doesn't either from North Carolina.
Yeah, but he lost like every single one of his like wideouts and his running backs too. So I know it's tough to look as good without like some playmakers as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, we digress. Back to the
right. We completely shifted focus there.
It's fine. It's all.
I mean, that was. You're
just looking ahead. You're looking ahead to next year. That's all.
Right. Yeah. So that was pretty much my game against Michelle. Though I ended up winning by like 20 points or something like that. So it was pretty much because Murray did not get. I mean, he still had points. Well, right. I mean, he did not have a very good day running the ball. He only had 19 yards, and that was his only touchdown. So.
Johnny, to answer your question, sorry, Sean, guy, to cut you off there. Go ahead, but there are 2 O linemen on the Bears that are hurt. So I mean, it's kind of like that around the league. I mean, there's at least a couple of teams with a couple of guys down. I don't think you can really blame that at the end of the day. I mean, things I will say about obviously it's Fields' first NFL game, but he looked like shit. And honestly, I was worried about that going forward. Can you make that transition? Can you do the same things you did in college to the NFL? I mean, it's obviously it's game 1. Maybe you need to get that out of the system. And now he has a starting gig for a couple more weeks. So see what goes down. Bad first week, bad matchup for sure. But just wanted to say he looked like shit. He looked like shit.
A little bit better of a matchup this coming week, though.
Who are they playing this week?
Quick. The Lions.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're guaranteed to just have natural good luck against the Lions. Like whether you deserve it or not, you're going to go out there and have the game of your life against the Lions.
We'll probably have at least a 20-point game.
Like I said,
I'm starting Allen Robinson this week. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Did you guys already do your disappointments of the week?
Go ahead and give us yours. Yes, we did, but go ahead. What do you got real quickly on a disappointment and a surprise this week?
Cam Akers just reminded me, what's his name? T. Williams for Baltimore had 2 points?
2 points. Yep.
Against the Lions?
That was downtown guys, boy. Yep. That was rough.
Yeah.
They gave it to him 5 times.
Yeah, they didn't give him the ball.
They didn't give him the ball, which is crazy because he was leading for a while.
Ben Guy played Latavius too. I think he had 7 carries. Or
he had 2 yards, I think.
Or maybe it was 10 carries.
But they're feisty in there.
I guess it's just Lamar Jackson just hoarding the run game. I mean, at the end of the day. Well, I still don't think you dropped Tyson or anything like that.
No,
bad week.
Disappointing.
Big disappointment. Yes, good call. What do you got on a surprise?
I haven't really thought about it yet. I'll percolate.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Sean Guy, did you feel like you broke down your game well enough?
Yeah, I mean, looking forward, the only thing, I think I mentioned it a little bit, as far as my team overall, obviously Ayuk, guy I left on my bench because he did not look too good the first 2 weeks. He actually did look a little bit better week 3. So yeah, probably will be entering my lineup shortly. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy. I just need some of my running backs to get a little bit healthier, and
I found it interesting.
I'm liking my team quite a bit, even with the slow start. So
interesting that you started McKissick. Also, if my mom plays Williams, she had a chance to beat you if Cooper went for 14 tonight, which is very possible for him and Dak. But Cooper was dinged up. He played, so maybe they were just taking it easy on him. Yeah. And obviously they wanted to hand the ball off a good amount. They were able to kind of exploit Philly. So whether it was from a coaching, I'm going to have to go back and watch footage, whether it was from a coaching standpoint or their O-line was that much better. I like it. And, but yeah, you were kind of more vulnerable than you think this week if my mom plays Williams.
Yeah, so, it was another overall low point total, but I still think there's a lot of
now that we're in half PPR.
I still have some upward potential. I think.
Yeah, now that we're in half PPR, that's a good point. It's almost like you want to make 100 points for sure. Otherwise, you kind of had a bad week.
Minimum, yeah.
Yeah, because of all those points coming in from receptions and running backs. You got 2 running backs of flex, and all those guys get half points.
Cooper's another one of those receivers that's kind of irritating to own. He had 40 points week 1, and it's been kind of nothing since. You just never know what you're going to get from him.
Who?
Amari Cooper.
Oh, Amari Cooper. Yeah, 4 points this week. I really think. I said,
40 week 1.
No, I was just saying this week. I thought you were referring to this week. My bad. Missing a heck of a game over here. I'm just saying though, Cooper was dinged up, so we'll see what happens in the future. I like him going forward. But let's switch it over to me and you, Flana guy. That's one thing I can cover well this week because I haven't watched all the games, but our games I saw a good amount of footage, and I would love to talk about it. What do you got?
Yeah, man, what a game.
Why did you bet so heavily on the Giants?
Mostly the matchup. Falcons defense. I mean, Philly put up like 35
still,
on them.
Didn't you feel you were being overzealous by putting in Daniel Jones?
Well, hold up a second.
Okay.
If you look at my team, I mean, it's Saquon, so I'm going to play him. And he actually outscored
Saquon.
Henry,
I don't question the Saquon call at all. Not even questioning it.
He's the guy I have to play.
I mean, he's been getting healthy. Yeah.
At the flex, I don't really have that strong of a bench, and I think he outscored everyone. Maybe Melvin Gordon has a little bit more points, but I mean, it's basically a wash. Wouldn't have felt really.
That was a questionable one for me. I did recommend you play Gordon over Galladay, which would have gave you 6 points, but in our matchup, it wouldn't have mattered.
I was a little bit concerned about Galladay being injured, but
I guess
he had a decent day. He just didn't score.
So, who was your quarterback? Did you drop David Carr? Was that who you had?
Yeah.
Swapped out.
Yeah, 20, I think.
I think Ben guys scooped him up.
I think Jones had about the same amount of points. I'm just going to be streaming based on matchups for the most part, man.
Yeah, I think Ben guys scooped up David Carr. I'm trying to run over there and see what he did. 25 points for David Carr. So
Jones had like 19.
Jones, I think he had like 16.
Yeah, 16.54.
A little nice.
And again, I thought there was going to be some points. I think they scored like 30 something against the Redskins, and Falcons defense is even is one of the worst defenses, I think, and Giants still couldn't really do anything.
Yeah, I, like Johnny, I bet on the Giants to play a lot better because they were playing the Falcons. I picked up the guy that doesn't miss at kicking. He only had like
that was a good pickup, 2 kicks. But that's why I like that pickup is because the Giants. Giants are a team that's going to Giants are a team that's going to struggle to score a touchdown over a field goal. So I like that scoop.
I hate going for it.
Yeah, especially while the weather's still good, that's a nice pickup in New York. Eventually you kind of want to.
That stadium gets windy though.
Yeah, but it's only good for good matchups. That's the only problem.
I mean, as soon as the weather gets crappy, you got to watch out for the outdoor kickers, and you got to almost want to see if you can stream somebody. I mean, the fact that you dropped Younghoe Koo, I almost just went in and nabbed him just because you did.
Dude, he hasn't been producing at all.
That's a fluke, man. I'm telling you. Wait till we get to week 5. I guarantee you, I'll go scoop him for.
I'm gonna keep an eye on it because I'm looking at matchups for kickers now because I'm not getting the points I want.
Yeah, as soon as somebody else drops somebody, he's going to be top 2.
That's how it works. That's how it works.
Any of the Giants, I didn't see any of that game, but I'm just assuming it was probably like one of the worst games of the season. Just
okay,
like
I watched the game. Most of it. I'm gonna go back and rewatch everything this week. I got 11 games to watch, 11 hours of football to watch. But yeah,
11 hours of commercial free.
It is true. They're all condensed. So it's 16 times 40. So you got 40 minutes condensed game per. Some of them are 30 or 50. So you're on an average of 40 minutes. Then I got 16 games to watch, including your Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night football. It takes a lot of my time, dude. And I'm going to be honest, I get kind of gassed sometimes. It's just like.
Yeah, wait, why do you do that? Just fun?
Because I want to analyze fantasy football. Like, I don't know if I want to do it like professionally, but I love it. Yeah. I've been doing it since I was 13 years old. And like, I mean,
well, it's really showing up because he's doing well. Like, don't hate the man, dude.
No, no, it's true. The other thing is, Johnny, you're well aware that I have some health issues going on. So it's something I still can do is sit around and watch football. So it's either I watch Netflix and tell you who's hot in Hollywood right now, or I tell you who's hot in football. I don't know.
Too hot to handle.
I mean, have you seen Queen's Gambit? Queen's Gambit's a great show.
I heard
we could do a whole Netflix podcast.
I do like Queen's Gambit. It is good.
It's a good show for sure.
Have you seen
that on the different podcast next?
What's that? A Netflix podcast?
Yeah, we can do that in the off season.
Get the crud out of here.
Ozarks is another good one.
Ozark is really good. My dad just walked down here. Hey, but it's good to. Hey, Dad. Johnny says hi.
Love you.
He didn't even say. Camille says hi. He said hi finally. Bro? Before he was just murmuring.
We bonded in the hot tub last time.
What about a hot tub?
we just had a good time drinking some brews, IPAs.
Dad, did you have a good time with Johnny last time you saw him?
In the hot tub.
In the hot tub? He said, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys have IPAs? He said he thinks you ran out of IPAs. Anyways, so yeah. So anyways, I don't know. That's why, Johnny. I mean, it's something I can do that's
cool.
that I've been doing for a long time. And honestly, I've always thought to myself, like, if I could just watch all the games, like I can't watch all the games. And by not being able to watch all the games this year, it's ironic because a lot of YouTube footage came out and YouTube's like trying to take off, but I'm starting to really hate YouTube because nobody's taking it with a grain of salt. It's starting to push up like Instagram and it's becoming people's life. And you follow too much YouTube advice and it can destroy your life. Like you got to take things with a grain of salt. You got to have your own ideas. Yeah. So like by watching every NFL game, I'm forming my own ideas. Like I didn't like Ben Roethlisberger because he had an injured pectoral. How do you have an injured pectoral? I watched him last week and then you go out and play good. You don't. I mean, just put 2 and 2 together on some things. So, but it's exhausting. Yeah. And then another thing you realize is not everybody that's analyzing football is watching every game. So a lot of people are a lot of fantasy guys talk out of their butt. Like, all
stats, and it's all stats.
They look at stats, they analyze data and stuff like that. I like to do that, but I also like watching the game. But I found myself on NFL Next Gen Stats. I find myself watching, Highlight Heaven. Ben guy put up that channel. I still watch YouTube. I'm not, but I find myself looking at guys like Sean Guy, and I realize they really don't care deep down. They just, it's like they just like playing fantasy football and winning. It's just the gratification that they, so they like watching the Lions, which hurts your feelings. So I always make sure I watch the Lions like last. I watch like every other game. Then I'm like, I go, okay, like time to watch this. I don't have a lot of faith in the head coach of the Lions and Sean Guy. I'm just messing around, but
I actually do kind of like Campbell. I mean, it's hard not to like anybody after Patricia, but
I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll see.
He looks like a football guy enough, but so did Patricia. I mean, I don't really care about what you look like. So are you getting the job done? And that's the thing in Detroit is it's so.
Yeah, they'll have a lot of draft picks in the next year or two. So hopefully they do something with them.
See, you're already looking. This is a classic Lions. Like, oh, we're going to do good in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who cares? Look what happened to Miami. What?
How bad is Lockett out? How bad is he hurt?
Lockett?
Yeah, he got. Yeah,
did he hurt? No.
He hurt his knee pretty bad. Tyler Lockett.
He's fine.
Did he not? Did I dream that?
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now.
I thought it was bad.
He's not even injured.
Are you sure?
It's not showing that he's injured.
I think I was dreaming.
Yeah, dog. He had one fumble that got called back because he was down, and he had a quiet game. But the thing is, I knew that was going to happen, and everybody's looking over at my team like, "Ooh, what are you going to do with Lockett and Metcalf?"
I love it.
Honestly, like I just take the point total. Yeah. I just take the point total of both guys each week, and I can just divide it by 2, and I'm like, I'm fine with that. I don't really have to overthink it. So honestly, I think it's a jealousy thing. I think it's if any other guy I'm serious. Like it's like having Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. You'd be doing the same thing. You'd just find yourself saying, I know it's weird, but
you're not wrong.
Yeah, it's really no hesitation, except for week 1 when downtown guy got into my head during the draft. We did the same Zoom call. He's like, what are you going to do with both those guys? And like week 1, I'm like, oh, I really like Lockett. And I actually like, I keep going back to that, like what I was thinking. I think I played like, I don't even know who I played over him. It was I lost the game over it. So I don't know. That was week 1. Week 1 was brutal.
Yeah, I like your team a lot. I was just realizing though, once Dalvin Cook is back, you don't really have a RB2, do you?
Kareem Hunt?
Yeah.
Maybe Hunt for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you saw the highlight reel of Kareem Hunt, I was able to watch him against Chicago.
Yeah,
I was almost kicking myself for not playing him, and it was hard to watch because he's so good. It's just like I felt like a fool for benching him. I'm going back to my week 1 matchup, by the way, to tell you who I was stupid enough to bench.
Didn't you bench Lockett, right?
So I benched Lockett for Shaynault. To my to my defense, Shaynault scored 9 points, 9.4 to be exact. And
didn't Lockett get like 30?
Yeah, and in week 1, the thing is, in week 1, Shaynault was getting really hyped up. I didn't know Lawrence was going to come out and lay an egg. And not only that, he threw touchdowns that game. He just threw him to Marvin Jones and he threw him to Chark. So
yeah, I have him stashed on my bench right now.
And much like
I have to use them.
Much like the Detroit Lions this week, I lost that game, like I keep saying, to Justin Tucker on Monday Night Football at the very end in the fourth quarter. I lost. It was like it was looking like the Ravens were going to drive down the field and score. And if they did, it would have been an extra point and the game pretty much would have been over, but it ended up being a field goal and I lost.
Sucks.
You love when I'm in pain, dude. You love my struggles, I think. Which was why I was so happy to beat you this week. You. What else do you think?
What are you talking about? I'm actually.
You laugh at my pain.
Like I'm not.
Kevin Hart.
I'm not that mad about losing right now.
I don't know. I'm happy to win. All right. So let's go over to our game though. You gave out your Giants crap.
Yeah.
I think it was on my surprise of the week. It was my scoop of the week was Madison.
Yeah.
And I quickly named him Dalvin's backup and gave him the unicorn icon and he just went off. Finally, Justin Jefferson shows you what he can do. I'm excited to watch that game back. I want to see what Seattle did wrong. I really think it was a classic Pete Carroll mess up, to put it lightly. Tanyan.
Their defense real bad.
I traded Latavius. I traded Latavius Murray for Tanyan, or Tunyon, however you want to say it. I thought, that was going to be a nice plug-in over Jared Cook, but that ended up being the mistake. Cook didn't really do that well, but still, Tunyon had like 1 catch. So he looks like he's going to be hot and cold this year.
Yeah.
I might actually just stick with Jared Cook based off of seems like Herbert kind of goes his way every game. Got to watch that game as well. Got a lot of footage to watch. Like I said, Claypool kind of he was a bright spot, basically. I think when Ben Roth is going to realize that he needs to go Claypool's way a little bit more often, he'll do better.
No. He got 15. Like, what were the Steelers doing yesterday?
I got to go back and watch it.
Najee Harris had like 20 targets. Like, what are they doing?
I don't know. That's just the most ridiculous amount of targets. But Nyheim Hines, you also mentioned during the week there.
I like him.
Yeah, Hines, a lot of upside there, just in case anything happens to Taylor.
He's like the new school James White.
Basically, I recommend they call them handcuffs now in fantasy football for you guys to set yourself up with any handcuff running backs. So the idea is that they're handcuffed to each other, right? Like anytime you have like a Dalvin Cook, it'll be Chuba Hubbard this week with a McCaffrey. If you have a really good RB1 and a good running back system, like the Chiefs, whoever the Chiefs backup is, to nab that other guy if you have a spot. Like if you have a Deshaun Watson on your team who's in trouble for getting massages, then, not in so many words, it was obviously some bad things happened in there, but
allegedly, you have to leave with the allegedly because it's not true yet.
Well, I'm not a lawyer, so what I would like to say is he was in the wrong massage parlor and got caught. That's what it sounds like.
The wrong 30 of them.
I mean, we're you're living in today's world. If you're famous, you cannot be doing that kind of stuff. Like,
I would agree with you 100%.
I mean, you probably shouldn't be, even if you're a regular guy. But
I was about to say.
If you're a regular guy, you're fine because nobody knows about you.
Right. It's just your guilty conscience eating away at you. But yeah.
Are you guilty?
That's all you've got, huh?
That's all you got, dude. You're just guilty in your mind. That's fine. Who cares? Great game from Matt Stafford. I think that's where I really won against you, Johnny. Where I pulled away. So loving my boy Matty Staff out there. And I really don't have much more analysis except for the fact that I think tight end was up in the air. I was gonna go with maybe possibly Drake, but you have no idea how close I was to throwing Kareem Hunt over him. And it was I made sure I set my alarm because I work nights. I set my alarm for noon to sleep on it and make that decision. As soon as I saw Dalvin Cook wasn't playing, I was like, insert Madison, because like I explained it to them earlier, because Seattle's defense is questionable.
Trash.
Yeah. Hot garbage.
It's kind of funny too, like Madison and Cook with the dreads, like they kind of look exactly the same on the field.
They do.
I'm telling you, man.
Like exactly the same.
I had a good feeling.
I was like watching a game and I thought it was Cook, but it was actually Madison. And I was like, oh, shit.
I actually was able to watch a couple of his highlights too. Believe it or not, like they were available to me, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going with this for sure. He has a good running style. So I think we've covered most of the games. We got to cover Ben guy and we got to cover Mike guy's game.
Can I just one closing thought on my team?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Before this week, I was 2-0, and I kind of squeaked out a couple of close wins.
Yeah, you
and
did.
I was like, I was kind of just like playing it off, like, yeah, my team is good, like hell yeah, like.
That's why I was nervous, dude.
No, but honestly, like I'm not that high on my team. Like I'm not a big fan right now.
Like I said in the beginning in my first draft analysis, you are not a championship winning team, no matter what. There's no way you take the championship. I love you a lot.
There's still a long season to go. I got Michael Thomas coming in just a couple weeks now. A couple more weeks. He's ready to go.
He's having surgery. Or he's had 2 surgery on, and he's got multiple injuries.
Wait, is he not coming back?
I'm just saying, I don't know how you say he's coming back in 2 weeks, because he had surgery and then he had like multiple injuries. It was like a deltoid surgery, and then he also has like a tendons in his foot or something like that. It's complicated.
Yeah, he's fine. He's totally fine. He'll be fine.
Okay, I get it. I get it.
He also tested positive for COVID, by the way.
Yeah, and by the way, I listed that on my injury report.
Wow, that was a lot of shit that you guys just hit me with.
But the thing is, nobody listened to my podcast of me going solo, and that's what I really want to say to. That's what I really want to say to all you guys this week is if you just listen to my freaking podcast before the games, which I'm gonna do this week, whether I have to do it solo or not, I promise I'm putting in the homework. Like
injuries put me.
I graduated college in May. And as soon as I was done, I started doing these podcasts with Sean over the summer. He thinks I'm whacked out of my mind, but you know what I mean? It's all good. I don't care.
It's necessary. Like I understand.
Only half whacked, Louis.
Week
not
7,
totally
by the way, is when the timetable for his eligibility to return. Week 6 by week 7 possible return. Unlikely though. Dude had surgery back in June.
Sean, guy, at this point, you have to throw on your glasses.
Why?
At this point, because this is a glasses heavy podcast. At this point.
Yeah. Hold up. Question for you guys. Since we were talking about Michael Thomas, Mike guy, whatever his name is, has been asking for Michael Thomas. Would you trade him for Mike Davis?
No.
Hell yes. Are you kidding me? Honestly, I feel like you kind of ratted him out in a way. Oh my God, dude. I would make that trade right now.
Yeah, Mike Davis had 9 points. Hold on, no.
Mike. Okay, so like I was down on Mike Davis last week, but I was able to watch a lot of that Giant. I was able to watch a good amount of that game. He had some.
Saying last week, man.
Bro, but you're the one sitting there not pulling the trigger on the trade, so I don't care. You can know my.
Push it for Najee. Push it for Najee.
No way, dude. Look. Why would Mike Thomas? He is not going to do shit all year.
Yeah. He's not playing for at least 4 more weeks, and he's probably not going to do shit.
Minimum. You got another AJ Green situation on your hands where he could easily.
AJ Green looks way older though.
I'm talking about 2 years ago in Cincinnati when Triple C auto drafted on a date in Spain.
Talking Sean Payton, offense.
I had AJ Green, bro. I thought
Jackson's offense.
AJ Green
a couple years ago.
Look, AJ Green 2 years ago when I drafted him was supposed to come back like after week 6. Then they were like, a couple more weeks.
I get it. It's not the same situation, though.
I'm telling you, it might be. I didn't say it was.
I don't know. It sounds like he's got a lot of stuff going on. So,
anyways, if you listen to me, you win. You don't listen to me, you lose. That's what it's starting to be after week 3. I'm starting to be that confident in some of these.
Did anyone listen to you?
No, I don't think anybody listened to that pre-week show. But that's.
I did. I listened to it.
Did you?
Yes.
What was my stardom situms on yours? Where
I think for you told me to put in like Edwards Hilaire.
He played decent.
But I think you weren't even looking at the Cook injury. You were more focused on the Sanders one.
I was saying, like, if you got to watch that injury.
Yeah.
Like, so
it's really just watch the injuries. But then I was like, I might put in Edwards-Helaire because I feel like with the Chargers, he'll have a good game. So I was like, okay, I'll take what he's saying. So I listened to it.
Cam-A, listen, woo! It was mainly just that. It wasn't too much. It was a lot of like, it was some start him, sit him, but it was always like mainly like, okay, he's injured. You got to watch that. Because
I was like, I'll take any advice that I can. So I'm going to take the time and listen.
Hey, you won.
Hell yeah.
So anyway, it's not, and a Matt downtown guy, he has had a bad matchup this week. He's just gotten fucking brutally murdered the last 2 weeks. By the
2 weeks in a row.
The fantasy lords are just, I don't know what it is sometimes. This
is what always happens to me. I always end up like even last year, I would put up like 147 points and then I'd get beat by like 20 points.
Yeah, you had some tough luck last year, but you know what? There's 6 playoff teams this year. So if there was 1 year to take a loss when you put up a lot of points, it was this one. That way, if you make that 6th spot, you got a lot of points and you just like outbeat that other team because of that. So let's can we move?
Had a week last week, but Tate,
can we move over to Tate's team so we can recap?
That's what I'm saying. Remember last week his team like didn't show up at all.
Oh, no. We've already recapped that game.
Yeah.
I meant
downtown.
Ben?
No, Ben. We got to talk about Ben and then Mike and Luke. So let's go over to Ben and Luke real quick and recap that, because speaking of
Luke.
Listening to my podcast before the week, Ben guy, please, if you are listening to this, because I will make chapters for you on YouTube. This is the only thing you need to listen to is right now. Forget the rest of it. But you hear my soothing voice talking to you. What are you doing benching Mike Evans? I swear to God, I try to make it clear saying like, yeah, he's not the flashiest player, but like he's going and Sean guy chimed in saying like, yeah, you got to play Mike Evans. Like,
if he played Shepard
this week, everybody bought your Giants hype across our league. And you know what? A lot of people were betting on him because they're playing the Falcons. But I just, from an overall standpoint, I'm looking this up right now. Mike Evans.
I put a warning Shepard last week. I said I wouldn't start him. I was like stash him.
Look, I'm reading this off to you. Last year's Mike Evans. He had his lowest games were 1 point game, 4 point game, and an 8 point game, and a 6 point game. That's 4 out of all the other games. For the other weeks, 19 points, 13 points, 21, 12, 14. That's how Mike Evans goes. He's a touchdown hawk. And he had that week 1 where he like benched him. I'm just saying, Ben guy, going forward, it's in your best interest to either whether you find it in your flex heart or to play him at your wide receiver 2 to play Mike Evans. And you would have won this week. And that's all I got to say. You clearly did not listen to me or just blatantly don't give a shit, which congratulations.
I had Mike Evans like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And there was one game he had 2 catches for 2 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of that last year. No, that's the way he is. It's like, he's not like a big yardage flashy guy doing the dance, but you put that guy in like the 10-yard line, he is going to beat out the best corners in the league. It doesn't matter if he's playing like the Rams. He's got like, that's his best skill. And he's good at it.
I feel like he gets screwed though too with Brown and Shepard both getting injured. He probably would have won if Brown was healthy for that game. But
the Shepard thing did hurt him. But honestly, you gotta play Mike Evans, man.
No, but Brown getting injured early on 0.3 points, like I feel
I agree, but I'm just saying if he plays Mike Evans, he wins.
Yeah.
No, definitely valid.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
I mean, the Brown injury.
Good. It's just been mismanaged.
The Brown injury sucked for sure. I mean, Ben actually had a really great draft to take Kelsey early, and then to nab the Panthers D to take Tucker. Surprisingly, we're talking about a kicker, and then I like the Patterson move as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's been banged up a lot of.
I also said though, in the podcast to play Gaskin. And I know Gaskin only did 8.9, but if he plays Gaskin over Murray, which was my suggestion, once again, it's another 6 points. So those are my 2 calls. And
wow.
did Ben just put I thought Ben just put Evans on the trade block, but it was
I just put Ayuk on the trade block.
I saw a red jersey and I was like, there's no way he's listening into this right now.
If anyone wants to make an offer for Ayuk, he's on the block.
But we got to do the young fella justice and go over to his team. So Luke the Beast, I mean, he had a really tough loss against me, and he's another team similar to you, downtown guy who's had bad luck and keeps putting up big point totals. So I think he's got one of the best teams. Connor was my only weak spot on his squad, and then he ended up going off this week. So he finally took a chunk out of that offense and that run game. You know what, Johnny? As much as I dogged the Giants, I actually was fairly impressed with that defense.
They also were playing the Falcons, so
yeah. Their defense is underperformed, but enough Giants talk.
Let's see, 6 points against Denver, 3 points against Washington. So of course, 15 points against Atlanta makes sense. Then they get Nola. Yeah. They got Nola next week, so I would probably drop them, honestly.
Dude, I'm telling you, looking at their schedule, like I don't know
it's
if they're
bad.
gonna win.
It's bad.
Like they have a tough schedule. They got like KC coming up, Tampa Bay, Dallas twice. Like
it's really not until the back half, really.
Personally, I like the play against New Orleans, though. I think if it was one bright spot, I watched a decent amount of that game. I don't drop them quite yet. I mean, maybe if you have a better team out there, I did drop San Fran so I could plug in Madison. So maybe that's a team that you take, or if you have a better play in your heart. But otherwise, Luke, if you're listening into your moment, I don't think it's the worst call next week. But as you get into Dallas and as you go over to the Rams, then you got KC in week 8. I mean, and then Johnny, just to reiterate,
there's also the Bears playing the Lions. So
yeah. So which defense are you taking? That being said,
if it were my call, I would pick either.
He's got Buccaneers defense.
I don't think you can ever play the Lions D confidently. I don't know what it is.
Honestly, if you're playing Jacksonville or the Jets or Detroit, those are really good pickups.
He's got the Bucs. He's got the Bucs D on his bench. Who do they play next week?
So he's kind of loaded with Bucs D, and I forgot he was one of those 2 defense squads. I like him keeping Judy around. And by the way, I'm glad you guys are all here tonight. I'm gonna make it a poll, but I just want to grab you guys' thoughts while you're with me right now. Do you think we should have a 1 IR spot for fantasy football? Like, we'll start with 1. But I think it's fair with Christian McCaffrey's, your Judy's. I don't know.
Michael Thomas.
No, seriously. No, Michael Thomas is guys like that have a lot of potential, but they're just, they're having certain. T.Y. Hilton's probably not going to come back, but maybe that's what you want to keep on IR. I don't know. By the way, Flanagan, I like the Baker Mayfield headband look, buddy. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, thanks. I got the man bun going right now. Kind of falling off in bed, but
a little bit of an Aaron Rodgers vibe. Gonna steal some catalytic converters out there.
One thing I learned this week: Aaron Rodgers doesn't need a timeout and can do anything in 30 seconds.
Yeah, good.
Like steal a catalytic converter. By the way, speaking of your team, Luke, Callaway finally showed up. That touchdown was an interesting grab. It was almost like a basketball play, but I like it. I like it though. I like.
He's due for a good game next week too against the Giants.
You almost got to keep Rondell Morgan too. Kyler Murray with a bit of a down week, and
but that's a 1 week thing, dude.
Debo, great. I think honestly he has the best wide receivers in the league for sure.
And none of those guys really blew up this week. He was just kind of consistent, and that's enough to get a W, but he could have even a much bigger week any given week. That's a good team.
Any word on Andy Reid coming back next week with the hospital visit? What's going on with him?
I think he's doing okay. He was just dehydrated or something, but I think he's fine.
It's not COVID?
No.
Released from hospital.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Okay, cool. So
Google machine works fast.
Yeah, that's what's going on with that.
Hey, did I get cut out of the loop here? What happened?
You're in. What do you want to say?
No, my video for some reason isn't working.
Oh,
It's because you need to put your glasses on to join the party.
yeah, you didn't put your
Glasses
glasses on,
squad.
so your video cut out.
All right, fine.
Yes, the 4-Eye Squad.
The Zoom gods are smiling upon us.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, Ben Guy, Tannehill, I like it going forward. He finally got a little bit hotter this week. Latavius Murray still gonna if you watch the week 2 highlights, there's a lot to like there. And you have some depth going on as far as Henderson probably gonna come back to you. And your boy Marvin Jones from Detroit just doesn't want to have a really off week so far, I guess.
He's getting a lot of love.
16, 14, and 9. So
yeah.
Nice scoop there in the draft from Ben Guy.
I love DJ Moore too. Big DJ Moore fan.
So yeah, he got dinged up. It was getting like crazy how many injuries were just happening from like their best players. It was like their best player on offense, their best player on defense. Well, that could, I guess, is up for argument, but he's one of the best.
All of Ben's skill guys are a little bit banged up, it feels like.
DJ Moore was just wait a second. Was that all Ben's skill guys? What was the question?
AJ Brown, Shepard.
Yeah, that get really rough week for Ben. Good point for injuries.
Antonio Brown.
But
luckily Moore was later on.
You know how all that pain could have been avoided by listening to me and playing Mike Evans. All right, let's move over to the last matchup. Mike Guy, the 2-time former champ, versus the robot Dr. Steek. Dr. Steek. Mike Guy, I want to say this to you since I know you listen in most of the time, and Jalen Hurts, like you're asking about the Phillies offense. They seem to be pretty decent. I don't think there's any reason why you might want to switch it up because he seems to always get rushing yards, and that's the kind of quarterback you want. Me and Mike Guy were trade ideas. Believe it or not, Mike Guy offered me James Robinson, Sony Michel, and like somebody else for Tyler Lockett. And I was like, nah. And I still wouldn't do it to this day, but James Robinson with a really up week. And Mike's willing to make trades. So if you guys are thinking to trade with somebody and you want to swap somebody out, I know that guy's looking to wheel and deal right now. But yeah, good week from James Robinson. Didn't get to see the footage yet, but I can't wait to see what happened there. Devontae Adams, what a beast. What do you guys got to say about this game?
I mean, yeah, Devontae was impressive, and when he got like nailed, and then he was just out for a play, and then it came back in. It's like, all right, I'm good.
There's no telling that, man.
So yeah, impressive performance from him for sure. Najee Harris is a beast.
Yep, another beast. Thogan Lamas with the fumble, but he still put up 10.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb with what is arguably a down game for him.
Yeah, I thought he would have a touchdown, but
yeah.
Devontae Adams is basically a running back with all those baby screens they do. It's like handing the ball off to Devontae Adams out there.
If he's lost that much receptions, Johnny, if he's lost that much faith in Mike Davis, pull the trigger, baby.
It's weird. He was looking for a running back. I'm surprised he's trying to get rid of all of them.
I mean,
and for a receiver,
he really is trying to make trades, and I think that's part of how.
Yeah, he wants Saquon too. He wants Saquon for me.
Good luck with that. I don't like doing that because Saquon's stock's going up right now.
And I feel like no one has enough running backs. So no one really wants to trade it. Any running back they have.
He looked so good week 3 compared to week 1. Some of those runs he was making. I know it was Atlanta's defense, but I think you're seeing flashes of exactly of the old Saquon. Yeah. So
it's all gonna come down to the blocking if they're gonna give him some room.
Yeah, I was worried week 1 and 2 because of that, but you kind of set yourself up for a difficult schedule. But good luck to you going forward, Flanagan. Anything you guys got to say about that matchup though over on Steek and Mike Guy? Because it was actually a fairly close game.
Yeah,
I was kind of rooting for an auto pick.
Oh, I was just gonna say for Sheik, I think Anderson was a big disappointment, and then Smith-Schuster getting hurt, that kind of hurt him as well. Montgomery, Bears O-line just sucks, so he didn't really get much points either.
Yeah, that's a good point. Bad week for Montgomery, but great player.
Yeah.
Like the Saints D. Wow. Kyle Pitts, I was gonna draft him before the robot snagged him that round. Kind of glad it happened the way it did. I was putting a lot of stock there, and I whoever I ended up with that round was clearly better than what's going on so far in Atlanta. I didn't realize it was gonna be that bad.
Tight ends are strange, man. Like a lot of the first round pick tight ends the past couple of years, it just like doesn't happen. But then guys like Kittle and Kelsey come out of nowhere, even Waller. So
yeah,
it takes time for some of those guys to develop. It might not happen this year for Pitts.
Yeah. Moss with 16 points too on his bench.
Robbie Anderson, I don't even know if Steeks really like sets his lineup or what, even if he has a thought process, because whatever. But yeah, that's a stock that's kind of going down in my eyes. I mean, I'm not saying he couldn't have a big game, but Smith-Schuster is also questionable now, and he kind of performed more like what he did for me last year, and Claypool stole the show. I think it'd be in Pittsburgh's best interest to go with Claypool and Johnson as their 1-2 punch, and then give Schuster the ball when appropriate. But
that's kind of what they're doing, right? And
I mean, this week, yeah.
Smith-Schuster, I don't know why he went back to the Steelers, because yeah, it seems like he's getting pushed out the door.
But if you look at the numbers, I mean, Smith-Schuster week 1, 8 targets, week 2, 7 targets, and then he scored 7 points week 1 and 13 in week 2, out there for 96% of snaps in week 2. So he's definitely.
But the other guys are getting the targets too, right? Claypool and Johnson had 2.
Johnson was getting some too. Yeah.
Claypool is definitely Johnson's clearly the number one out there, and he's clearly the number one talent. But Claypool is a 6'4", like he's at Notre Dame, so he's like 245 pounds. He's a beast. Yeah, I mean, I love him as far as size wise and that offense, but we'll see what the Pittsburgh Steelers do going forward. I think that's interesting, especially having Najee Harris playing how he's playing and Mike Tomlin. But yeah, across the league we've covered it. So looking ahead in the world of fantasy football, what do you guys got for me? What are your insights on week 4?
Real quick, can I do my surprise?
Oh yeah, I didn't know you didn't give us one. Go ahead.
I was thinking about it, and it just came to me. I'm gonna actually like double dip on this and go Justin Herbert and Mike Williams.
Do it.
Like the fact that they're doing it week in and week out, like, has been impressive. Like, seems like Mike Williams is like a must start right now.
Yeah, I'd say across the players in the NFL, Herbert's definitely in the conversation. As that dude's like dude's like 6'7". And yeah, exactly.
They're fun to watch.
Yeah, it is fun to watch. Like that's why a lot of times I don't end up watching the Lions or other stuff like that, is because I'm serious. Like, yeah, like if I see the Chargers are driving, I'm definitely gonna flip over there and see what Herbert's gonna do. He's fitting into the NFL really well as long as he keeps up his health.
And the whole AFC West and NFC West, like all those teams are a lot of fun right now.
Playing good football out there in LA. Playing good football by you, downtown guy. And I think Spartan Troopers got to play Mike Williams, but we'll see what he does.
Would have lost if he did.
You said he wouldn't have lost, or he would have lost?
I think he would have won if he played him.
Who hasn't?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was that close?
I mean, I won by like 13, and he got like 29 points.
So who he probably would have played him over? I think he was confident to go. I mean, if he would have played him over Julio Jones, it would have been a 23-point swing.
Yeah, or putting him in the flex.
Yeah, he would have won.
Herbert too.
But if he would have played him, my thing was, would he played him over Edmonds? That was the big question for me. So if you would have played him over Edmonds, 29, that's an 18-point swing, right? So an 18-point swing puts him, he would have won.
Yeah.
And that was my only advice. I kept it so short. I literally, his segment on YouTube was like 5 seconds long. I was like, short one for you, just play Mike Williams. So he could have plugged him in for Julio, or he could have plugged him in for Edmonds, which was probably my advice because it seemed like, I don't know, if I have a feeling like I see what you guys see, then I'm hesitant to say, oh, you should start him and sit him, because I can kind of see what you see in Julio there, but this week, yeah, I mean,
the question.
Good luck for you, Cam. That's a good thing for you. So
I know, seriously, I got lucky.
The question for him becomes Lamar and Justin Herbert now. I feel like it's kind of interesting.
Gotta look at the matchups moving forward.
Definitely now. I think you're starting to ask yourself that question. But wait, his other quarterback's Lamar, right?
Yeah. Lamar and Herbert.
Yeah, I personally, I don't know. I think it's a really tough call. And it kind of puts them in a tough situation. But it also, so your two options are this: when you have a lot of depth at the same position, it's like, okay, I can either try to trade that person, or I can be really comfortable on so-and-so's bye week. So that's just kind of where I'm at. If you have too much depth, or if you can't really have too much depth, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, if you look at the side-by-side comparison week in, week out, this was a really big week for Sherbert, and the previous two against not so great teams, he ducked half of that. So,
and also I just realized, I agree. Lamar also would have had a huge day if Brown
it was like 3 long balls, basically two of them for like touchdowns.
Jackson's still getting 20 plus points a game. So
I feel like I gotta lean Jackson. That rushing is so important.
Like I said, you can't really have too much depth. Yeah, you're gonna be making a right and wrong decision sometimes, but at the end of the day, bye weeks start happening, injuries start happening, and if you're dealing with a Mike guy, you're most likely gonna make a trade. So, I honestly, if that trade's still on the table, Johnny, I can't say it enough. I'd pull the trigger right now. Anything that I'm reading here on Michael Thomas, I'm still trying to look stuff up, but he's probably not going to come back till like early November. Like he doesn't even leave the PUP list or whatever it is until like October 20th. Yeah, the
physically unable to perform.
So here's the thing, man. I mean, I'm 2-1. If I'm in the hunt and then he's back.
Here's
plug and play, baby.
The only thing I can tell you about this year is I really wish I had week 1. I would have stuck to my guns and played Lockett and just base it off a week by week basis. Like you get too far ahead of yourself and you're like, oh, I'll have a great week 8 team. You're gonna lose this week.
I don't even know if Mike Davis goes in my starting lineup.
Or another insight for you. Another fantasy insight for you that I seen Sean Guy do. No offense to Sean Guy, but like, oh, he's got good potential. Like, potential's one thing, but if he goes out there this week and performs, it's a totally different thing. Like, yeah, I like this coach, or I like this guy. You know what I mean? It's like you're right in the future, like about Ayuk and stuff like that. But what are you going to do this week to get the win? Are you going to go on waivers and make moves? Or are you going to just kind of just stick with your squad? It's really up to you at the end of the day, but I'm just kind of, some of the things I'm doing a little bit differently than I did in the past. I just think you're best.
You're saying you're selling it out for just trying to get a win this week every single week.
Yeah, play for this week. Well, like use the waivers to your advantage. I just think that there's still good players on waivers. Like, for example, this week, Sean Guy, are you first on the list?
Yes, I am.
So you deviated from Sony Michel last week, and I understand, but
yeah, I was asleep at the wheel. I'll admit it.
No, it's fine. I just think this week you'd be kind of a fool to not pick up Hubbard.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he is. I actually already have it submitted, so I don't miss it out. So
okay,
that he will be claimed.
There's another waivers pickup I like. It's over in Vegas. I don't know, Matt, downtown guy, if you made the claim or what your guys' claims are, but I like the backup in Vegas, not Drake, the other guy.
Barber.
Thank you. I was
Barber,
blanking. Peyton Barber. I was blanking on his name. Appreciate that. So the week ahead, though, I look at your matchups. Don't be afraid to be wrong sometimes, I guess. And then what else do we got in week 4? Who's playing who? I'm playing you. I'm playing you, downtown guy.
You are.
You got to look out for my team, buddy. How do you find out
who you're playing?
Just click week 4 under league. Go to league and sleeper, and then it leaves you a little drop down where you can click all the weeks. So go to week 4.
There's some pretty good matchups in the NFL overall this coming week.
Sean Guy, Space Force is playing Doesn't Kneel, who is now not undefeated, but he has a good squad if he puts in Mike Williams. You got a tough matchup. IPAs is going against the Robot. We're all rooting for Triple C. Mike versus Luke the Beast. I'm going to be putting my money on Luke the Beast again versus I think the 2-time champ over there is struggling a little bit out there in Guam. Flanaguy against my mom. You got my mom. So, I mean, if Kyler Murray's fire keeps burning hot, you're going to be in some hot water. That's my insight on your game. I'm serious, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I
think I missed when you guys analyzed her team. I got to check it out.
Kyler Murray, Nick Chubb, James White's hurt, so I'll be texting my mom probably to put in Williams or Trey Sermon's finally getting the ball. So
and they all had a bad week. So
Denver's D is looking like either tier 1 or tier 2, probably tier 2, but they're getting up there. And then Sutton's a beast. I don't
feel good about this.
Ridley's a beast. Cooper's a beast. Gronkowski is when he's healthy. He's questionable, so I'll try to text my mom everything I can to see if she beats you, but
I'm not feeling good about that matchup.
Cam A, who are you playing? You got Ben Guy.
Ben, yeah.
What do you got to say about next week? You got Brady's going against New England, who's actually had a decent defense, but I feel like he's going to show up.
I feel like
Sunday night promo.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be kind of like emotional for him, I guess. I feel like he's going to have a good game.
I feel like he's going to demolish him.
Yeah.
Good 5 tutties. Yeah.
I like Sanders against KC there at 1:00. Edwards on the other side of the ball. Edwards Hilaire. Yeah, I think you got some fairly good matchups, Scammy. Like you want to see Antonio Brown come down with the ball, and obviously I think Dalvin Cook probably will be back next week. But
yeah, I hope so.
Monitoring that, but yeah, he's up. Once he comes back, and if he comes back next week, he could easily be the top fantasy running back this year.
Is Johnson going to be back next week, or is he out for a while?
Johnson.
Who's Johnson?
For
Deontay Johnson for the Steelers.
Steelers.
I thought he was questionable this week to go, and then they eventually called him out. So I think you could see him back soon. He's got a knee injury, but I don't know how serious it is. So something for you to research as the week goes on. But Cammy, I watched the game week 2 when he did get hurt. I think he's good to go, whether it be this week or next week. So I don't think
it's in my flex, but
I just want to say
the guy's the man. The guy's the man, by the way.
I think Brandon Cooks is one of the sneakiest picks in the whole draft. What's his game log, man?
We touched that. We touched on that earlier, but I agree.
For who?
Brandon
Cooks.
Oh yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Show up on time next time.
What did you mean you were taking a sound bath? We were all intrigued by that. What is that?
Exactly what it sounds like.
No, we don't know what that. We were thinking of that where you listen to someone taking a bath.
Is Alexa making noises for you while you take a bath?
Hey Alexa, play bath sounds. Is that what that is? What is a sound bath?
It's these 2 people do this every Monday night, and it's just like a bunch of cool instruments, and it just feels like you're taking a bath to sound.
Is that like
relaxation?
Do you go there like live in person?
Yeah, it's on an app. Yeah.
Oh, it's on an app.
There's like 500 there's like 500, 600 people in there tonight.
Okay. Honestly, that I honestly think it's cool, but the thing is, I would love to see that in person versus the over the internet. I guess it'd just be rad to see that.
For sure.
I mean, do they give you video footage, or is it just?
Yeah, video. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's cool. Yeah, we didn't know, man.
Yeah, it's like what are the instruments? It's like an ocean drum, singing bowls, hand pans, just deep relaxation type of music.
Stuff like this.
Yeah.
Could you guys hear that?
Yes.
Really?
Something like a fart.
We had like a 5-minute conversation trying to figure out what a sound bath was. So I'm glad that
Google
we
it. YouTube Wake and Ada and Nathan. Those are the two people.
I'm definitely gonna have to check this out.
I was trying to give you guys a sound bath.
Hey Luca.
We appreciate it.
I feel it.
Hey Luca, do you think you're gonna get the dubs this week?
I do want to give you a heads up. You better watch out for my team because we're hot right now. And Lockett had a down week.
And after a down week, he's a hot one.
I honestly think you got to watch out for us, but I'm kind of leaving it at that because I haven't seen your matchups. And then the other thing is I get really nervous before like Saturday, early Sunday morning. I'm like, my team's going to collapse and I'm going to lose because it's just my luck. And like you're going to go off. Like I really thought Daniel Jones was just going to run for his life for like 2 touchdowns. And like, that was a game I was really watching. I was like, this is where I lose. So I'll be probably be keying in on whatever those key games are at 1:00. It all seems to happen at 1:00, which is, it's horrible because there's no way unless you have DirecTV Sunday Ticket or you go the kind of legal route of purchasing it with crypto or whatever else. I'm sure there's like 5 million. Yeah. I mean, I could all get you guys hooked up, but I haven't had any luck. I don't know. I've been one of the worst salesmen my entire life. Like if there's something to sell, I will make the other person run away so fast. Like that's just been my MO my entire life. So I'm trying to look at our games, see your matchups.
Well, I got a few waivers I got to get through first, so we'll see how it looks after.
Andy Reid, I guess he'll probably be back. Mahomes is going to be all fired up because his coach was in the hospital and he'll probably fucking throw for like 400 yards and like 8 touchdowns. I don't like that. I don't like playing against Aaron Jones any week. I don't like the fact that Tyson was on a down week last week. I still have faith in Devontae Smith. He's had a couple of down weeks. Waller's always going to be a beast. It still comes down to you. Do you play Javonte Williams over Boyd kind of thing? Whatever you go with in your flex. I'm in hot water as well, so I think it's going to be.
I mean, I can tell you right now that I'm pretty confident I'm going to play OBJ. I'll just give you that heads up.
Okay, so you play by you playing OBJ. I like my chances more.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Interesting.
No, that's because I think Javonte Williams has big game potential.
But I didn't say who I was putting him in for. I just said I was going to play him.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, either way, dude, if I'm being 100% honest with you, the projections have been wrong against my team back-to-back weeks. I've been considered the loser actually all 3 weeks. But if I would have just not paid attention to the paranoia you put in my head during the draft about Tyler Lockett and listened to the guy at work about Shenault week 1, I would have avoided that loss and been 3-0. But I didn't listen to myself, and that's when I started saying, "That's it. I'm watching every NFL game." And
I think the story of this podcast has been everyone, just even Louis himself, take Louis' advice.
No, I mean,
we'll all win.
There were things I was wrong about. There was things I was wrong about. Are you
gonna even give me advice since we're playing each other this week?
Yeah, I mean, my first advice to you is to not play Beckham and to play. Actually, he's playing Minnesota. He's playing Minnesota. I didn't see that. So now actually I'm kind of crapping my pants. So because Playing as
What
Minnesota
did Beckham
second.
do yesterday?
He scored like
Real
10.
quick.
He scored like 10
He scored
fantasy
11.
points.
11.
Okay, 11. I was off by
His first
playing
game
down.
back.
But
Playing
He had
down
like
time,
60
yeah.
yards and 5 catches.
Beckham looks good the way that Baker Mayfield plays. So you're not really looking at the old Beckham. And this guy who's coming back, it's like Baker Mayfield is such like a respectful guy. If you've heard him like mic'd up, he's a very intense guy. And I think like his personality with Beckham's really lines up. But all that BS aside, back to like just football analogy, I think, going against Minnesota's secondary, you have a great matchup there.
Yeah.
But what do you do as far as, so you're saying, oh, well, I'm not going to play Javonte. Well, I might play him still. You could play him over Tyson. You know what I mean? But I still like both. I like your options going forward. I also like the scoop of Osborne. I've been able to watch Minnesota's games as well.
Yeah.
I got to stop saying I've been able to watch this because just assume that I've seen every freaking game at this point. Osborne looks really good, dude.
I'm buying Minnesota. Yeah.
When he gets the ball, he's looking like a Tyler Lockett-esque. Could get you like a 80, 75 yard touchdown, no problem. And he's extremely quick. And getting the ball from Cousins, yeah, that's a great option for you going forward. That's all I got on our game. Sean Guy, what do you got on the week ahead, man?
The week ahead, like just looking at the overall schedule, there's a lot of interesting games. Like even the Thursday night game, I think is a little bit interesting.
Who's Thursday night game?
It's the Jaguars at the Bengals.
It's funny you call that game interesting. I was like,
I know,
God.
I think it is kind of interesting. You know,
I
Urban
think
Meyer coming back to the state of Ohio. I think you got a little bit of a selling point there.
Always giving us a different viewpoint for sure.
Right, yeah. But I mean, just looking at some of the other games though, like Carolina at the Cowboys, that's going to be a big game.
Yeah, that is
Browns.
I like the Cowboys.
Browns at Vikings is a big game.
I like the
one game
like
that
Browns.
I'm really surprised that it's not the Sunday night game is like Cardinals Rams, 2 undefeated teams, and instead they have the Buccaneers and the Patriots.
Well, they did that because Brady's gonna
he's going back to New England or whatever. But I don't know, it's just Cardinals Rams easily game of the week
for sure.
And,
I not to one up you, but I second that motion.
Yeah,
I don't know. But and the Monday night game is pretty good too. So there's
I love Monday night game.
I love
I
love Steve Levy calling the game, and then that dude Lewis. I'm kind of biased because that's my name, but I really love that announcer.
Are you not watching the Mannings? What's wrong with you?
I don't. Okay, like it takes me a while. Look, I watched the game. Okay, so what is wrong with you? I don't know. Sorry. You know,
everyone's watching the Manning cast.
It's really hard to keep up with Generation Z. Okay, man. I'm trying to say lit and AF and that's so ass. Okay, like I'm trying to keep up. Yeah, it hits different. Does the Eli Payton
slaps?
Does it hit different?
It slaps now.
It slaps.
It slaps.
The Monday Night Football jingle slaps. STFU, I'm trying to listen to Monday Night Football music.
Hey, Eli Manning.
Are you flicking me? Why are you flicking me off?
Period.
Eli Manning did this on.
Flick me off.
You have to edit that out.
Eli Manning did that on camera tonight.
Oh, that's why you did it. I saw that. Yeah. I saw that meme of Eli throwing up the finger to like Peyton, man.
The double bird, yeah.
I miss the heyday of the Giants, man. It sucks where they are right now. I just want to say I don't think Daniel Jones is the future.
It's a comedy.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Lions. It's just like you just know it's not their year, and it's gonna be a rebuilding year next year. So.
It's rebuilding.
The best part about the Lions, though, is like everybody still tunes into it for the next week.
Of course,
except me.
That's the best part about it.
Eventually, I watch it.
Like, everybody complains about it Monday, but like come Tuesday, they've like completely forgotten about like what happened Sunday, and they're like already like, all right, Sunday we get another chance here.
Man, that feels like being a Mets fan.
Yeah.
Vicious
it is rough being a Mets fan for sure.
Don't want to talk about it.
All right, guys. it's a great time to call it. Unless there's anything else that you felt like we missed.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing you could say is maybe like a few of the waiver wire things, but I mean, we pretty much covered a lot.
I have a couple advice questions.
Yeah. Even if it's your other league, I'd love to hear what you got.
Oh shit. Well, that forgets a different story. Okay. Well, for this league.
No, seriously. Yeah. If you want to go ahead.
So Cook, assuming he's healthy, playing against Cleveland.
Got to start him.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was thinking too, is because,
just like I was saying,
that Cleveland defense is pretty tough.
Just like how your old dad used to roll, you just got to play your good guys no matter what.
What's the other option? What are you concerned about?
Well, I mean, I have Allaire and Sanders in there right now. So
yeah, got to play him.
Allaire, I think I'm going to keep in and then probably put Cook in.
Okay.
Sanders has been getting like 6 or 7. So he's kind of been like fart noise.
Who are those playing?
What's your other question?
Other one. So I'm kind of thinking about putting in Sanders
for
maybe Cooks or Brown, but I don't know.
Okay, so the way Cooks is playing in Houston right now, it's not like Brown doesn't have big game potential at all, especially, like last week he was like 2 seconds away from having a great game.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of on with Sean guys told me this, like, and we've discussed this on other Crudcasts, that Cooks, like we were saying, is really the only option out there. And he seems to be like their entire offense.
Yeah.
So what do you guys got on that? I'm going with Cooks.
I think it's a really interesting decision to make. I actually wouldn't change it. Say Johnson's healthy coming up. I don't know if I would change this thing though.
Yeah, if Johnson's healthy though, I'm with Johnny.
Johnson or Marquise Brown.
I like Johnson over Brown too.
If Johnson's healthy, you got to play him, and then I put like Cooks at your number 2.
Yeah.
If that's your squad.
Yeah, I think Johnson over Brown. It's close though for me, but I think Johnson over Brown. Just consistency with Brown is not really there.
Yeah.
So the thing about Brown, what even the announcers keep saying is he comes out fiery the first 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then afterwards just goes on this giant.
Yeah. Okay. So that's definitely a trend, and that's what I think you got to be careful for. Is like a lot of these trends are rolling around YouTube right now, and they're rolling around Instagram, and sometimes they hit. Sometimes they hit, and they're direct, and you got to listen to them. But other times you got to be like, "Fuck that! I'm playing Brandon Cooks because I watched the footage," or even if you didn't, you're just looking at straight up numbers. Like,
I'm saying the same thing. Play Cooks, don't play Brown.
Who's Cooks playing? Who's Cooks playing next week?
Hold on.
They're at the Bills.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, see though, you do have a really tough matchup there. So that's if there's a week to sit Brown, it's against the Bills. But you got.
Well, no, Houston plays Bills.
You said Cooks.
Yeah, against the Bills. That's what I was saying. Oh, my bad. I just made a mental error. My bad.
No, you're good.
What I meant is if they're okay. So yeah, whoever's playing against the Bills, you might want to sit them just for the fact that the Bills have been on fire lately.
I would trust the targets. I would trust the targets with Cooks. And has he even scored a touchdown yet? He's just racking up tons of yards.
No, I think he scored a touchdown for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't this week, but I think maybe the week before.
I was gonna say that
last week he got one.
Okay, because I was gonna say he's due for potentially even more, even a bigger week coming up.
He's played 2 really difficult defenses, Cleveland and Carolina.
So Brown's got a tough matchup against Denver. He's got a tough matchup against Denver. Here's where you might not be looking, Kame, over looking at your team.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Sanders against Houston.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was thinking about maybe putting him in for Cooks.
Might just straight up pop off again. And but the thing is, I think you gotta play Deontay Johnson, but you have to play Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
So for
I think
you got a tough situation.
Double-digit targets, guys, for the past 2 weeks.
Sean Guy, talking about.
Sean Guy, what do you think about Kame on receiver? What 3 receivers do you play if you play at the flex?
This is like her team in this league.
I go personally. I'm going to give you 3 right now this week before everything goes down. Let's say if Deontay's healthy. Okay. I go Deontay Johnson. I go Keenan Allen. Yeah. And at the flex, I'm going to be, for lack of better words, I'm going to say ballsy. And then I play Emmanuel Sanders. That's all I got.
That's what I was kind of thinking too.
Guys, go ahead.
You know what I would say. Cook.
Yeah, Marquise Brown at Denver is a pretty tough matchup.
Yeah.
I agree. And that's why I just think the Bills are on fire right now. And I think they're going to stomp over Houston. I really do.
Yeah.
But even Carolina stomped over them, and Cook still got 14 targets. Like,
or
11 targets. Sorry.
I kind of
trust the targets.
The thing is, I definitely I don't lose any sleep if I play Cooks, though. Even though he's playing against the Bills, I still think, that's a good option for you at flex.
Yep. I would do Sanders, Cooks, Allen. I wouldn't even be upset if Brown goes off.
If Johnson's healthy, you're still benching him.
I was reading the injury report. I think Johnson's going to be out more than a few weeks.
I think.
What'd you read?
I know, like it said that he escaped major injury, but like I don't know, just like from the sound of like what they were talking about it, like it's going to be at least another week or like a few weeks.
Yeah, they're saying they're not saying for
they're kind of like downplaying. They're downplaying it a little bit. It seems like.
Well, I mean that's what happened with Dalvin Cook last week. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, it might be an easy decision for you at that point.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you got in your other league?
Oh God. Okay. Let me see. Well, I'm playing against my sister in the other league, so I feel kind of more confident about that one.
Playing against the Buttness.
Yeah, Carol Butt. Let me see if I can pull up a preview.
Hey, I just want to say I'm 3-0 in my other league.
Yeah, I'm also 3-0.
You guys should have both voted. You should have voted for 2 when I put up the poll. How many fantasy leagues are you in?
I think I did.
Okay, so like I said, I have Hurts as my starting quarterback in that league.
What are your contemplations? What are your starting sit-em contemplation?
Oh God. I guess my biggest one. Okay, so Watkins is starting currently, but I have Ayuk, Mooney, Aguilar, and Jefferson on my bench.
Wait, Justin Jefferson?
No. Sorry,
Jamar Jefferson
for Rams, the V one.
Oh, Van Jefferson.
Van Jefferson.
Van Jefferson.
Yeah.
I was like, how do you not play JJ?
Yeah.
So he hasn't gotten many. So he's probably not out.
Yeah, you guys got.
Man, I'd go Camille. I'd go Ayuk over
Watkins.
I like Ayuk.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, he's gonna be coming around pretty soon.
Coming around the mountain when it comes.
Well, and they're playing against Seattle, right? So I feel like he's gonna have a good game there.
Yeah.
So who's your starter?
Seattle's defense is not.
Who's your
great.
starters? You're at receiver right now.
Starters, I have Scary Terry, Watkins, and then Sutton in the flex.
Okay, so you go Scary Terry, Sutton, Ayuk. If it's me.
Yeah.
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 Wait, who did the Rams play? Who did the Rams play? Because Van Jefferson might be a toss in the pan. Like he could have a big day.
It's true. Van Jeff's about to go, but I think Ayuk's in that same boat.
Yeah, he's like their clear. He's like their clear 5th option though in the passing game.
That's not true. He's number 3.
No.
Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Van Jeff,
Deshaun Jackson, Tyler Higbee, then Van Jefferson.
No, first off, it's Van Jefferson over Deshaun, and then it's Higbee over those 2. That's my.
I feel like
Jefferson.
But last week it was definitely Jackson.
I feel like ordering receivers like 1.
It's
2,
impossible.
3, 4 options.
It's impossible.
Like,
Sean does it all the time.
These days, with good offenses these days, like think of the Buccaneers. Like
exactly, you can't do it. Well, you can say this though. You can. Well, you're right because you can't say if it's going to be Gronkowski or if it's going to be Godwin sometimes.
Right.
Depending on what Brady's is feeling like. Yeah, or if it's going to be freaking Godwin over Evans. Like.
Yeah. It also depends on the matchup too.
Yeah. So watch your matchups. You guys got any start-em, sit-ems yourself?
Real quick, Cam. I know it was ugly for Hurts tonight, but I'm rolling with Hurts. I have him in that league, in my other league, and I mean the rushing is gonna come into play every week, and he's getting that garbage time. That might end up be like his worst game. And he actually finished with a decent amount of points, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was like 25. I guess he's playing against Kansas City, and their defense is like a shit show.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's gonna be like, even if it's garbage time, even if it's ugly for fantasy, I feel like he's gonna have pretty good weeks. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, maybe I'll leave him in. We'll see. I don't know though about this game. I mean, she's got Allen, she's got Jones, Metcalf, Higgins, Higbee, Tampa Bay D. So it's going to be a rough one. We'll see. That's all I got.
Yeah. Same.
All right. Downtown guy, you got to start him, sit him debacle. Sean guy.
No, I got nothing.
Keeping
it close to the chest right now.
This MF right here keeps it close to the chest, and he claims he's doing research. But I can tell you one thing: when I was in school, is like your free time just pretty much goes out the window. I mean, depending on how hard your class is and your prof. But
I like the rivalry between Downtown and Lou guy that's been developing the last year or two.
I guess, man. Honestly, it's a friendly. I feel more like it's like a Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and I'm clearly Tom Brady.
So. No, this is just me recruiting him to come out to California.
We have been talking about that. I swear to God, I'm on my way, dude. Queue up a furniture store so I can get a recliner chair, and then come over for some IPAs.
No, I'm gonna have the dilemmas once my waiver wire goes through. Then I'll start having some dilemmas because it's really
it all changed. It does change once those injury reports start getting a little bit more detailed as the week goes on. But personally, most of mine is set. I'm trying to look over at our game.
Yeah, if you look at our game, I mean,
Sean guy, you got anything?
I like just looking at some of the other matchups for next week. I like Gordon a lot at running back for the Broncos as like a stardom. I think you can confidently start him as like a running back 2 or a flex.
I also agree with that. My stardom sit-em for my lineup is Madison. It depends on Dalvin Cook, honestly, in the matchup. They're playing Cleveland, so I'm probably going to take Kareem Hunt. Actually, I can tell you 100% Kareem's going in the lineup.
I was going to tell you to put Kareem in.
And then Jared Cook for Tunyon is probably going to be my other play. But the thing is, I don't like Pittsburgh's secondary, and I actually really like Tunyon again. So that'll probably be my last second decision is on tight end. Other than that, everything's pretty straightforward, except I might stream a defense going against Tom Brady against his former team. As much as New England's good this year, I might let somebody I don't want to let go just so I can pick up a defense. And looking over at waivers,
there's a lot of good defenses, like not like great defenses, but good matchups for defenses.
So actually, it looks like somebody nab San Fran.
Yeah,
somebody already got him.
Yeah, I don't think they're.
No, they're there. They're there.
Oh, they're.
So
I would
personally, I kind of like Dallas against Carolina. If as crazy as that sounds. And then
I think San Fran's defense is a sit against the Seahawks though.
But for sure. Jeez.
That's part of the reason why I only kept them for a week. I just looked at the outset of their schedule, dude.
The Titans suck kind of, but the thing is they're playing the Jets.
Right. Yeah. That's a stardom.
We'll see, man. I really don't like my options on waivers at defense. I think obviously the best matchups are somewhere else.
Lions and Bears both could be pretty good. Get you some points.
There's
gonna be some turnovers in that game. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah.
You're the last to pick anybody, Lou guy. Just FYI.
No, that's fine. Honestly, I'm gonna have to make. I just looked at who my choices are on defense, and they're not very good. So I almost just rifled through every matchup, and I'm not really crazy about one. Nothing's standing out to me. And honestly, I might even throw it out you too. I don't really try not to keep it too close to my chest. So
someone make it.
If anybody wants to rejoin me, it's looking like Thursday night's a thing for me now after that Thursday night game. It'll be much quicker. It'll be more fast paced, and it's going to be more of a Stardom Stidham show. So also feel free for me to go solo. I don't care. It's no big deal. But I this has been so cool. I didn't know if anybody was going to be here tonight. So Cammie, thanks for
she was all excited. She's already like,
it's been great. Honestly,
really.
having
great.
a girl on the show is just like really
I gotta represent the girls of the league, so I figured I'd hop on.
I love it. Honestly, fantasies
I'm
so
hyped
cool.
to see you here. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been
Johnny,
fun. I'm glad I did.
Always repping some kind of hairdo and a sound bath.
The new meme, Flanagan.
Sean guy, not really big on laughing. That always keeps me.
Yeah. That's me. Just always pretty serious and to the point.
Yeah, that always makes me kind of be like, oh shit, we got some decisions to make come up on Sunday morning. Yeah. So now you get Sean guy in person though, he laughs a lot more. I swear. We had some good shows over the summer talking about Trevor Lawrence and Jamar Chase was one that I think Sean guy was a bit skeptical on, but also we had some decent things to say about him. And obviously at this point it looks like he's panning out long term.
He could have been another, or just a person for my surprise. Not just this week, but just the first 3 weeks of the season. For
sure. I have a lot of editing to do on this one. So, because I have, the way it works is I got to make a video out of it. I can't just throw an audio clip onto YouTube when I just do audio only. And then I got to go through and listen again to everything so I can chapter it out and then get it over. I like to get it over to Mike Guy in Guam as his day begins because it's 2 p.m. over there. So,
damn.
Yeah, usually I'm up till like 6 or 7 in the morning, which is good because I work nights and I know you guys got to go.
Hey, wait, so you're up that late? Doesn't Ben get up super early?
Yeah, and then Ben wakes up at like 3. Ben wakes up at like 3 a.m.
Ew.
You guys should do a podcast.
I know.
Like on his way to work or something.
Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Like the 4 hours that you have that overlap.
I'm roasted. I actually got to take. I didn't want to because I get a lot of headaches, but I'm gonna have to take Excedrin after this.
So what, does Ben go to bed at like 7 p.m.?
Good question. Don't know.
Most likely.
That's absurd. I could. That's crazy.
He's still young and healthy, so he can handle it.
I guess.
Yeah, 30. How old are you now, Scammy?
I'm gonna be 25 in December.
Oh
the young crowd. God, to be 25 again, right?
I feel like I'm 80, but
Johnny, how old are you?
I just turned 27.
Look at that.
Damn.
You got 1 year left and you're not cool anymore. According to Kanye.
Bro, I've been cool. Yeah, I've been cool in like 4 years.
Kanye said when you turn 28, you got to hand in your cool card. I kind of believe it. I don't know what it is, but that was really when my stock just kind of plummeted with being
the dad jokes come
hip
out.
Hip to the groove, y'all. Yeah.
I heard a lot of famous guitar players died at 27. They told me that as I was taking my guitar class. So now I'm freaking out all year.
Called the 27 Club, yeah. Well, keep away from that Delta 8 and you'll be all good, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your lineup, you won't make any more lineup decisions or bad lineup decisions.
I gotta listen to your advice.
I mean, that stuff has got to be horrible for you, low key. God, I mean, like honestly, this comes from a guy I smoked weed for 12 years straight every day. And
Louis, is your experience
which is sad?
Everyone else's experience?
Dude, don't smoke Delta 8. That simple.
It's not smoking. It's gummy bears.
Don't do that. It's bad for you.
Why?
Because it makes you lazy.
You think I'm lazy?
Yes.
Oh my God. I think on this note, it's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
Guys.
Goodbye.
Yeah. I think I'm
gonna wrap it up.
You're lazy. You're Leo. You're lazy Leo.
We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Leos are the most lazy. All right. We'll see you guys.
All right. See you.
Bye, fam.
This concludes the football show. Wait, except me and Johnny. Johnny's going to stick around for it.
Why? No, I'm out of here.
Okay, bye.
This presentation was brought to you by CCC Sports.